All right, good evening. Welcome to the Phoenix High School, the Phoenix High School. My name is Dave Earhart, Athletic Director for Phoenix Town Schools. You are?
I'm Neil Carvalho. I'm a business marketing teacher here at Phoenix, also a football coach here at Phoenix, and a DECA advisor.
A man for all seasons. Well, hey, we are here tonight. We've gotten the word out, but in case you don't know what this is all about, this is our Turfathon. We are committed to raising money to put down an all-weather playing surface on what we're calling Phoenix Talent Rising Field. Obviously, you know the story, what's gone on, almost a year of COVID, but even more heartbreaking were the fires of September 8th. Truly decimated our district.
Yeah, it was, it's a devastating thing. I don't think I've met anybody who wasn't impacted one way or the other, and just coming to school and seeing the devastation is just totally heartbreaking. And this is going to be such a beacon with the new school, is a beacon to our community, and it's going to be like what we said, the Phoenix rising from the ashes.
Exactly. We have so much to share with you tonight. And again, thank you for being with us on Table Rock Sports. Huge shout out to our friends. Chris Janish is here tonight producing. The man, Joe Brett. Joe Brett made it happen for us. So again, thank you guys so much. We're going to be with you for 4 hours. Going to take you on a journey. We've been working on this for a couple of weeks, what this is going to look like. This idea came about after the fires, because of a need to start the rebuilding in the Phoenix Talent schools, in the communities, to give that beacon of hope. And that's what we're here for. We've talked to people all week long, got some great interviews with folks connected to the district and those outside the district who have a connection. So again, we are ready to enjoy a great evening with us. Let's move the camera over right now. We've got our donation table set up. And Neil, if you want to share those phone numbers.
Yeah, so we have 2 phone numbers you can call. The first one, 541-973-1521, and then the other number, 541-531-6822. Make a pledge. You can pay with the credit card there. You can also donate electronically, and that site will be up also. Anything helps. There's no donation too small, or heck, there's no donation too big either. And we're so excited and thankful for everybody being ready to help with this. And I as a coach here, and I live in the community, I am so pumped for this, and it's going to bring everything together. I'm so excited about that.
Well, and we're finishing a beautiful new high school, and it's amazing. You're going to see a video a little later on with the high school, and it's just incredible. And like Neil said, having the all-weather playing surface at the new high school is going to be a game changer for us. We've got a great new track outside. We've got brand new lights. We've got a wonderful stadium, all those sorts of things. So we are truly excited for this and ready to rock and roll. So at our donation table tonight, we have 2 of our Turf Committee members. We have Christy Sanders and Celine Fairmont. They'll be with us for those first 2 hours, going to take donations. We already had a call just before we got started. Took in $600 from our friends at American Tractor.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, that's a great start.
So tonight, our goal, Neil, we're going to raise $100,000 tonight.
100,000?
100K.
Dave, I think we can do better. Let's go for it.
All right. We're going to go over the top if we possibly can.
That'll be awesome.
So, again, we're just really, really fired up about this. So many reasons to be here tonight. We talked about our goals. Neil, you've been a football coach here in the district for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Seen, waves of the good, sometimes not so good.
Right.
But always Phoenix football is a huge thing here. That cannon goes off. It's Friday night. All the good things that happen. So, again, we really – tell me about some of those games that you might remember a little bit. You've been on playoff runs with the Pirates.
We've had several playoff runs, and I can tell you one stands out. I mean, I tell my players there's no excitement running out on Friday night and hearing that cannon go off. And I can tell you this, we had a playoff game. Toby Walker, our principal now, first year, 2009, first round playoff game. We knew we were a better team. The field was a mud pit. And we had an explosive offense. We had a great passing game, great running game. And we struggled in that game. And just the mud slowed us down. And we pulled it out, won that game. Coaches were after Toby looked at us, and Toby and I talked, and he's like, we can't do that again. We were hosting the next week. We could not play at our field. And, we could, but it was a total mud pit. So we had to take our home game to Spiegelberg Stadium. So we had to play a road game as a home game. We tried to make Spiegelberg as Phoenix-like as possible, but it wasn't the same. We ended up winning that game, and we talked, and that's when Toby and I talked, and it was like, you know what? We need to not ever lose a home playoff game again. Turf would be a thing. It's always playable, and that's when that seed kind of started, and finally, 11 years later, that is coming to fruition. So it's super exciting, and, I just am pumped with that. And, we've had great moments here, great playoff wins. I remember my third year here, we hadn't made the playoffs for like 3 years. We're playing a do-or-die game against the Henley Hornets. Our quarterback rolls, lets one go, and we're like, run! But he lets one go. Look down the field, and there's our receiver wide open, catches it. We win that game. We get to the playoffs. Toby, 05, we had a great team. We have, in fact, our quarterback will be coming in from that team, Matt Haggart, and he'll talk a little bit. That team made a run to the semifinals. 09, Toby Walker takes over. We have a great year, a great team. We make a run to the semis. I've been here 23 years, Dave, and, we've been about 50-60% hitting to the playoffs. But, we always, I think, is always at a disadvantage when we have to go and play in the semis because we have to go to turf. And it's something we never have here. And it's kind of a disadvantage. And we're not the kind of team normally that's been a power, grinded out run team. We've had some skill guys. And I think that's going to benefit us. And then looking at soccer, I know we're having Coach Gallegos come in. And with soccer, we're always in the playoffs. And then we get to a home game, and we have to kind of figure out, hey, we got to play our home game somewhere else because it's a little bit darker at night. And then again, we go and play on turf. If we want to try to play a turf game, we have to go to USL or North Medford or South Medford. I think this is a game changer for all our sports. Band competitions can be held here, unified sports, youth football, youth soccer. I mean, community members. Band is going to be awesome with, they can practice in the field. We can share football and soccer players now because we can kind of maybe practice at the same time or real similar times.
Oh, there's your angle on this one.
That is
a
great angle because, I run special teams and we got some kickers, but, man, I would love a soccer kid. So I am super pumped about this.
Excellent, Neil. Well, again, Neil listed a lot of those reasons that turf's going to be a game changer for us, and we'll talk about those tonight. So, again, thanks for being on this journey. We want to start the night by sharing a video that really gives us a good idea of why we're all here. So Chris is going to cue that up right now, and we're going to check out a quick video that's on YouTube. Chris?
Looking at the school, it's very 21st century. It's built to kind of grow as the enrollment and population grows, but it's also kind of a quaint area.
All right, we're back at the Phoenix Talent Rising Field Turfathon. We are so excited for tonight. Our first guest is the leader of this district, does a great job for us, and has been a leader in so many different ways to this community, to our schools, to just in all. We're very privileged to have this man as our superintendent of schools, Mr. Brent Berry. Brent, thanks for being with us.
You bet, Dave. That's too kind, but really excited to be a part of something great. We have a lot of great things going on in this district, and super excited about this project.
Well, we're bringing Brent in by Google Meets tonight, so Brent, thanks again for being with us. And we just want to, again, in the last couple months, this has been quite a journey the district's been on as we've started the recovery from the Alameda fires, continued battling COVID and things like that. Can you just kind of sum up what's all gone on in those past couple of months, Brent?
Oh, well, in our time together, I don't know if I can sum it up and do it justice, but I've just been so proud of our staff and our district on reaching out to our families that have been devastated by the wildfire, and which is truly a compounding negative, really, with the global pandemic we're experiencing right now as well. But within hours, we had staff members that were connecting with kids, connecting with families, providing resources. That still continues today. Not only are we, providing education and doing, our regular jobs of providing academic, supports and along with the social emotional learning supports, but we also have a lot of outreach programs that we're really continuing to follow through on, because we know our kids and families need that. Also, I'm just really proud of the community at large here in Southern Oregon, and really throughout the nation and the world. We've had a number of people and organizations donate to our fire relief fund. They wanted to make sure those funds went directly to those most impacted by the fire. And in a short 2 months, we've been able to distribute over $1 million to families that lost their homes. So that sums it up just a little bit. There's so many other great things that are going on in supporting our families. This is a tough time. It's a challenging time, but there's a lot of hope and encouragement out there. So I'm looking forward to how we can proceed and help everybody in the community.
We are too, Brent. That's a great summary. And just the idea of, as a former athletic director, Brent was our athletic director, and then was a principal in the district, assistant superintendent, and now is our superintendent. So you've seen this district from a lot of places, Brent. But I know that those years as AD for Phoenix High School were special to you. Can you kind of recall those a little bit for us?
Yeah, those. That's how I got my start in this district, and that it is such a rich community, from athletics to activities to our district is really built on relationship with staff, relationship with students and families, and it's truly a tight-knit community that takes care of each other. I heard you and Neil talking about some great memories that we've had at the stadium, and one story that's kind of funny, and as you're a new AD and as a first-time administrator, the Pirates are coming out that first home game, just super excited, great crowd, great evening, great weather, and nobody told me that we shot off a cannon. So our Pirates run on the field, and 9/11 wasn't too far removed, and it was I just go, what in the world is that? And I think I think some extra gunpowder gets in there on some excitement.
That's a good thing, though.
But there's so many great memories. Something that I'll cherish forever in my career.
It really is amazing, and I know there's nights of mud, playing in some tough conditions, and we've talked a lot in the last couple months, Brent, about what the field will mean to get us playing on an all-weather surface all the time. What do you think of that?
Well, I think it truly is. I've seen in other communities how if you build it, they will come, and not only to our school district, but just to, what it means to youth sports, adult opportunities to get out and exercise and bring programs and utilize our facilities to really be a positive thing in our community. Our stadium and our new track is absolutely phenomenal, and this really rounds out the project. Sometimes it's you have to look at it, and this timing is kind of everything, and it really is. The timing is kind of working out in our favor in this regard. Due to some circumstances, especially with COVID, and a competitive bidding kind of process, and I'm just excited what it could mean to utilizing that facility tenfold to what we're utilizing it now, just because of the conditions of that field and what it means to put an all-weather surface in there.
That is huge, isn't it? Just not having to say, well, we can't have marching band practice, or soccer, we've got to take the playoff game on the road. I mean, it's really going to be a game changer for us, even having PE in there, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's going to be so many uses. I mean, we can start going down the list of everybody that will be benefiting from this project, not only just from our district. We host, our 8th grade football team over, and it'd be just really nice to, have a surface that, is it doesn't matter what the weather is, to really highlight, our final game as 8th graders and kind of transitioning into the high school. So, you mentioned a little bit about just the whole campus and the new high school, and you saw that video. This really will round out that block, and as far as other facilities, and when we're doing bond planning, there's not a better facility with the overall new building and what is in there, the additions to the track and the stadium, the remodel for the gyms and the theater and the band and the choir, and that are happening as well. You're going to have a tough time finding a better place for kids and staff in our community.
That's what we think. We are totally convinced of that too, Brent.
For sure.
Exactly. And speaking of that, our friends at Table Rock Sports helped us develop a nice video that we're going to take a tour through the new school here just after this. So thank you for introducing that, Brent. We appreciate it. So once again, that's Brent Berry, Superintendent of Schools, Phoenix Talent School District. Brent, thanks for being with us tonight.
Have a good evening. Thanks.
Thank you.
Brent. Thank you.
See ya.
Looking at the school, it's very 21st century. It's built to kind of grow as the enrollment and population grows, but it's also kind of a quaint area. And we have, it's really broken up into 3 areas with Tech CTE, which is the career technology places. And we've looked at where we have a state-of-the-art culinary kitchen. It's kind of like, restaurant quality, and we expect so many great things to come out of there, and our kids are going to be super excited to be well trained there. The welding program has a great space in there where you can do pretty much all types of the welds that they have with the plasma cutters that they have, and then our auto shop is also kind of a state-of-the-art. Several cart lifts, they do the engine repair, so all those spaces are going to be really great. And then in other CTE wing, we have our digital media program where we do our broadcasting. The program I'm with is our business and marketing program, and we have different things there with laser cutters and 3D printers. So we try to encompass everything together, and then we have the art with us, which has drawing, painting, and ceramics. So it's going to be a great great place for students. And then as you move along, there's spaces for kids to do collaboration work, which is we're really big on collaboration between students. Then you have the academic wing with where you have your science, or actually the English and math is on that wing, and then in the middle wing between is the science. So we have great spacing with the business of the students. Also there's going to be good technology in each classroom. We all have touchscreen Promethean screens in there for every teacher to use and project their computers. So it's going to be really a good blend of technology, the new wave of doing things, along with back to your old school methods. And then standing here in the library, such a awesome view. We have a maker space back there for kids to do projects and everything. So it's going to be pretty exciting. We have our Pirate Cafe out there, and it's the Pirate Galley, and it's a great place for for them to have their food for lunch and breakfast even. And then just the spaces everywhere outside. We have the courtyard where kids can collaborate and just hang out and de-stress. We have spaces down on the bottom floor and the top floor of their commons where it's going to be natural light coming in. They can hang out, they can communicate, they can collaborate. Outside we have our great animal care center and our agriculture center along with the construction center. So we've built so many different programs, especially on the CTE range. So for those kids who want to kind of go career-wise instead of true academic only, it's going to give some great options to our students, and that's something we're really excited about. And the school is kind of a centerpiece for the community, and that's kind of what everything involved with our school is going to be, including our fields and programs. So everything is kind of centered around community and pride. And being here as long as I have, this is something that brings great joy to me. I live in the community, so I'm super pumped about the new school, the fields, everything, our leadership of our school. It's been a great time, and with everything that's happened, this is going to be something that is a beacon to our community.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day, and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens, called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love my team, I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Well, they won't be able to see us, so they won't see my good side, Coach.
Okay. And Dave, am I talking soon, or what's the scoop?
Let me check the ad right now.
Okay.
As soon as they get this, can they see those guys? Is that they want to see?
Yeah. Actually, guys, will you run out and move that canopy out of there quick so we can see them out there?
So yeah, that was, I am so excited about that new school. It was great giving Chris a tour of everything. That school is a showpiece. I've been through, my first school I taught at, then I've been here. I've went and visited schools when the school bond was going on, and definitely this is one of the best looking schools we have that I've seen. It is so well thought out, so well put together. The kids are going to just find a great flow to that, because you have they showed where the CTE wing is. Then you walk across, you have to your the science classes, and then the other hall is the academic hall. All CTEs together. It's going to be a great flow. It's going to be, the students are just going to love coming to school. I think, every classroom looks great. It's state of the art. It is so inviting with the open spaces where you can collaborate with people for your group work and everything. I think it's going to be, again, not to use this word again, but it's another showpiece. So when you put our field, our track, and the school, it's going to be just a total showpiece for the whole community. I am just so excited and blessed to be a teacher here. As I'm ending the end of my career teaching-wise, I am so excited that I get to be in this new school, surrounded by a great staff, great administration, great support. It is such a blessing to be here, and so excited to do that. I know we're going to be sending it over to Mr. Earhart and Coach Dave Johnson in a moment. Let me give you real quick. Don't forget, call in with those pledges, 541-973-1521, 541-531-6822. Christy and Celine are anxiously waiting some phone calls, and I think we're going to take it away to Dave and Coach Johnson, who I love coaching with, by the way. Here we go.
All right. Thanks, C-Money. We are ready to go. Appreciate it, Neil. Great job. Once again, Turfathon night. We are pushing to get the money to raise enough for an all-weather playing surface. And you can see outside, our football guys are out there right now. Rain has turned into snow. Beautiful night for football. I'm here with Dave Johnson. Dave's our football coach. Does a great job. DJ, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, Coach, you've done some coaching over the years. And just sum up a little bit what it would mean to have that all-weather surface here.
Well, it just changes the whole complexion of a program. Kids come and look at the facility, and they've done an outstanding job with the stadium and the track and all that. And then to top that off with a field surface would just be outstanding. We would get all the sports would use it. All the junior high kids would use it. It's just invaluable. It's going to be and since we're one of the few schools that still don't have it, I think it's tough for us. And since the school is a focal point of the community, I just think that would kind of be the crown jewel of all the stuff they've done here in the last year or so.
Coach, you're in our second year coaching with us and rebuilding this program from the ground up, literally. And just kind of give us an idea where things are at right now.
Well, we're just plugging away. We got better last year, we thought. We're just trying to change the dynamic. We're trying to get into the junior high and get the junior high kids interested. We've had some summer workouts for them, and they've been outstanding. And and maybe the COVID thing has helped a little bit as far as kids just wanting to get outside and do anything. So, but we've had a good success with that. We're getting coaches down in the junior high now at the middle school that are really football guys and are interested in getting that going. So, it's a bright future for Phoenix football.
When a middle schooler's mom says, "Coach, we're afraid of football," how do you answer that, and how do you convince them that football is safe?
Well, I'm afraid of skateboards, so it's. I know that's the kind of the popular thing now, the in vogue thing, but there's so much more to football than just the contact. It's probably the number one team sport that you can play. Everybody has to do their part, and it's a sport that allows for as many kids as you have on a team. There's a place for them to play. It has to have teamwork. It has to have commitment. And then there's a certain amount of toughness and mental toughness, physical toughness. And with the equipment they have nowadays, a lot of that stuff that people talk about is just doesn't happen. The helmets are so much better. All the equipment, protective equipment, is so much better. Coaching techniques are so much better. Strategies and skill sets, and it just has changed the whole game. And it really is a safe sport if done correctly.
And just in terms of where we're at right now, football, if things go well, and if the snow stops eventually, we're going to be playing football in February. And we're going to have a shortened season, but if things, OSA came out earlier this week with an update on things. And how do you feel about that, Dave?
Well, I think that the kids that are going to be seniors or are seniors, I think that they would tell you that just 2 games would be better than no games. So if we can get a 5 or 6 game season in, it would mean the world to those kids. And this is something that when they come back to the reunion in 10 years, they're going to hunt up their football player buddies. It's one of those things that you do, and it just stays with you for the rest of your life. So football in February, football is football no matter what month you play it in. A little more challenging in February, chance of snow and rain, and all the more reason to have a nice Fieldturf field.
It's going to make a heck of a difference, isn't it, when we get going? So if things go well, we're going to be able to get this field ready, installed for the start of football and soccer, which right now football is scheduled to start February 8th. Soccer and cheerleading and cross country and volleyball would start February 22nd. So the clock is ticking. Again, your donations tonight are going to make a world of difference. Coach, you're a Medford High School grad, kind of gone full circle back to the Rogue Valley, and you've coached for a long time. How have the games you've coached changed, or is it really still just kids playing sports?
Well, the schemes, the blocking and tackling, and the schemes are more sophisticated now than they were. Coaching's a lot different. It used to be, I could see why parents were concerned. If we coached the way kids were coached 40 years ago or 50 years ago, it would be kind of scary right now. There were times where, I played on teams where you couldn't have water for practice. It was thought that was a bad thing, and you just had salt tablets, and it's a wonder kids didn't die. It was all about just toughness and who the toughest people were, and it was a whole different mindset, and it's gone away from that, like a lot of things have. It's, we're more interested in kids now and their success and wanting them, and we have kids that need football more than football needs them, and those are the kind of kids that you just see blossom in a team sport like this.
Dave, when we get back to a season, you can probably say you've had the longest preseason ever. It's been going on really since about April, and then in June we came back in. Guys were doing some workouts. Had to take a little pause, of course, from the fires. You've been back now, and you can see the kids improving, can't you? Oh yeah, every day. The biggest improvement we saw were in the junior high kids. They only came out once a week for 2 hours a night, but they got better really quick. And these guys, once they understand what you're trying to do, every coach has his own philosophy and own schemes, and once these kids start kind of figuring out what they're doing, we had a lot of adversity last year with kids that were injured, or kids that were grade-wise, or whatever their issues were, where there were a lot of times we didn't have the same team on the field 2 weeks in a row, and kids filled in. They realized it was more of a next man up situation. Everybody came through, and they capped it off by doing an overnight road trip to Milton Freewater and weather that made this look like summertime, and they did a great job. And I think the biggest thing for kids is or for coaches, is when kids come up and say, "Coach, I wish we had more games." They're senior kids, and I wish we could just keep playing. So that you're going in the right direction when kids want to keep playing. Exactly, Dave. Well, before we go to commercial break, we're going to thank Dave again and remind you, give us a call tonight. Hit that getmeregistered.com. You can make an electronic donation lots of ways. If you've got my cell phone number, text me, and we'll talk to you. In just a minute after our commercial break, we're going to bring the guys over to say hi, and then we're going to go back to Neil. So once again, Coach Johnson, thanks for being with us.
Hey, thanks for all you do.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
For several weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
You guys.
Everyday heroes live life full circle. Fill up and use your enrolled kickback card so you save 16 cents a gallon at the pumps. Get what you need when you need it. And remember, we reward all heroes with kickback cards at My Circle K. And if a call goes out for another heroic appearance, no problem. We have that one covered too, with our state-of-the-art car wash systems. Be the hero you were meant to be. Heroes living life full circle.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
All right, we are back here, Turfathon, PT Rising Field. We're excited to get this all-weather surface done. Our contribution total continues to go up. Just brought in a $5,000 donation, so we're over $7,000 tonight, on the way to $100,000. That's just part of where we're going with this project. So I've got some of our football guys. You can see in the background. Guys, say hi back there. There we go. It's our football guys who are having some fun out in the snow tonight. Got a couple of our seniors here tonight. Hunter Croy, Kyle Braun. Thanks for being with us, guys.
No problem. Thank you for having us, Dave.
All right. How excited are we to get back and play football? Tell me about that, Hunter.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so good to be back. It's hard not being back and not getting able to work out with everybody. But happy we're back and get back to it.
Kyle, it's important that you're working hard in the classroom right now. Is that a message that you're sending to everybody to make sure we're ready to go?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Every single day I work on my grades, get them up. And then hopefully my teammates are following me on that, you know.
Excellent. How about an all-weather surface, guys? What's it going to mean when we have turf out here, Hunter?
Oh, we can practice rain or shine. We don't have to worry about messing up the grass too much and worry about practice and have a really nice facility when it's all done.
Kyle, it's been difficult waiting for football season to start. And the OSA this week said we're going to start in February. Want to get some sort of a season. So what do you think of that?
Oh, I'm just happy that we get to play at all, honestly. We get 2 less games, I heard, but as long as we get to play this year, that's all that matters.
That's all that counts. All right. Once again, our football guys, Hunter Croy, Kyle Braun, Pirate Football. Thanks again, guys. All right, let's take a break.
I was talking to Bill.
Yeah?
Bill and Sherry got a guy.
They do? How did they get a guy?
Everything happened online, including financing. And their guy even delivered their new car to their home.
Maybe we should get a guy.
I thought you might say that. Honey, meet Kyle.
Find your guy during the Ram Power Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
Introducing Unlimited with Payback, only from U.S. Cellular. The only unlimited plan that pays you back for data you don't use. So, quit flushing money down the toilet with Verizon. Get Unlimited with Payback, and you can save up to $240 per year on a single line versus Verizon.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local U.S. Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
All right. Hey, welcome back. So I have with me former Phoenix Pirate, current Jackson County Sheriff, our quarterback from 2003 through 2005. Matt, you graduated in 2006, correct? And this is Matt Haggard. Matt, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Matt, just want to kind of talk about a little bit of your time as a Pirate for school and athletics. What was it like being here and kind of getting that first rebuild of the glory days back at Phoenix football?
Yeah, you know, it was amazing. As the coaches that they brought in, the admin they brought in, we still talk about to this day, and I'm in my 30s. But just the great times we had here, the accomplishments we had here, the community coming out, supporting us on games, hosting the first playoff game for years, you know, when I played, just felt great, felt awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we hosted a game in your junior year against Estacado. It was a kind of a tough game. We won a game in the mud against your sophomore year, got him back into the playoffs, won the league, finally beat North Valley. And kind of for that senior year, kind of tell me what some of the memories were and how it felt to bring the pride back to Phoenix football.
Yeah, you know, it's just growing up with the same kids, elementary, middle school, high school, keeping that bond, having great coaches as leaders, as mentors, keeping us together, and just getting the playoff wins here at home, having the community support us, and moving on when we played up north. We were unfortunate in the semifinals, but just that year and the memories were just amazing.
What do you think? We talk about that our school district is community-based. Did you see that, and do you still see that now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can tell when the sports are going good and they're not going good. We still have the same fan base here, same community come out and support us. It's just great support here in Phoenix. And honestly, I've coached at some other schools, and it's nothing like here at Phoenix.
Yeah, and you know, Matt, you coached with me. We won a JV championship together, which was fun. Yeah. We had a coach cry on the field one time. But, hey, so Matt, you know, thank you for being a first responder. Kind of tell what it was like with the fires, and how do you see the community rebuilding? I know you were personally affected with your dad, who I love. You know, kind of talk about that.
Yeah, you know, it's a crazy day. I no, in a million years, no one ever expected that. Just working that day, I was on day shift and worked for 16 hours, and it's just amazing how all the first responders, the community came together to save all these lives. You know, shout out to everyone that was involved in that. Great job, but just now starting over and just having the community, and I've seen it just from the outside standpoint of people donating, making sure people have houses, clothes, you know, holidays are coming up. It's amazing how everyone has come together so far, and it's really nice to see.
What do you think is going to be a big benefit, you know, with the new school, having a turf field, the new track? Do you think that's going to be a benefit to the school, or, you know, you've played, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a huge benefit. Turf nowadays, it's amazing. It's a year-round field that can be used by any sport at any time. It's community-based. You know, I know Pop Warner, flag football, soccer leagues, all that can come here, use this. This field is great, but in the winter it's not. We had to go practice on Spiegelberg when I was playing. I know you guys have practiced on Spiegelberg. Bring a turf field to this high school is not only benefit this high school, but the community and everyone that can use it year-round long.
Okay. Hey, Matt, looking at this picture here, I don't know if we can see that pretty well. Is that good right there? So, Matt, kind of explain what's going on in that picture, because that's you as a senior, and that's me, and what am I doing for you here? I mean,
yeah,
you know.
You were my man. So it's kind of trying to snow outside right now. It's kind of funny, but yeah, you know, being a quarterback, couldn't keep those hands too cold. So my man right here would give me the hand warmers ready.
That was my pregame thing, and man, this was, by the way, our home playoff game against LeGrand. First play of the game, offensively. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, we had this little go-to play action play, and Coach Croston called it and touchdown. That just set the precedent for that game, I think, and everyone was excited, and we ended up winning it, which was awesome.
Yeah, we won that game, I think, 37-12, dominant win. We went on to the semis, had a tough loss, but Matt, thank you so much. You know, I've told you this before. Love you, man. Need you. You need to be back in Pirate. I know it's once a Pirate, always a Pirate. I know someday you will be back, and thank you so much for your service, and thank you for being here.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, and thank you to the community for everything you guys have done for not only Phoenix and Talent, but just the high school and everyone that lives in this area. I truly appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Matt. And then I'm going to turn it back to a commercial right now, and then we'll hit our next
A parent, dad in the stands yelling at his kid, trying to coach him from the bleachers, and the embarrassment on the kid's face. It looked like he was about to cry while playing the game.
I think it's very embarrassing for a student athlete to see their parents being escorted out of the gym or off the playing field.
I'd be surprised if that kid comes back to the game.
And you risk a child enjoying the game, that you rob them of the fun. You have made a bad choice.
The days grow long, and the last school bell rings, calling you to pack a bag, grab the kids, and hit the road to that fabled land of green, where adventure drifts with you on the water and carries you through the trees. So let curiosity get the best of you and take the trail less traveled to Southern Oregon. Your journey begins when you travel Medford.
All right, we are back at the Turfathon, PT Rising Field. We're excited. Our total keeps growing. I think we're pushing, around $8,000 right now a little bit. So we're doing really well. Folks are calling. Neil Carvalho's out talking with a connection, somebody who saw him on TV, called in, and they're chatting money right now. So once again, a lot of numbers out there. 541-973-1521. 541-531-6822. Give us a call, make a pledge. We'll get you connected. You can donate electronically through our friends at getmeregistered.com. Just go search out Phoenix, and you'll come to our field fund right there. You can make a donation, or you can send a check to us, P.O. Box 697. Lots of ways to get this done. Speaking of get it done, right now we have a special guest. Steve Curry is the head football coach at Lake Oswego High School, former Oregon State Beaver, and more importantly, in our estimation, is Mr. Curry is our representative from Fieldturf. Last night our school board approved us to go into a contract with Fieldturf to build PT Rising Field. So Steve, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Hey Dave, my pleasure, and I'm so excited, and our company Fieldturf is excited about working with you guys and being part of the great team there.
Well, Steve, right now, we were talking before this interview, it's snowing out right now, talking football in February. What do you think about that when Lake Oswego gets on the field, when we get that chance? How have you been working with your kids to keep them connected?
Boy, Dave, it's been challenging, like everything has been, and we've really tried to get our kids out when they've allowed us to on the field just for some sort of workouts, and really more than anything, more than football part of it, it's really the mental aspect and the socialization and the sense of normalcy that all these kids need. And it's been very, very valuable. It's been fun to see them, to see their faces light up and the appreciation they have for being out there. So we've been doing it for probably about 8 weeks. And again, we've had a couple of shutdowns during that course of time in there. But we get out whenever we can, and we're just hopeful that, this new date of February 8th as a start date, and then playing the first part of March, and just hoping and praying that is still going to happen.
Well, we are too. Everybody around the state's feeling that way. You're familiar with our situation down here. Obviously COVID like everybody else, but the fires too. And, we're recovering from that. But what do you know about that, Steve?
I'd say that the last part again, I'm sorry.
In terms of the fires, the Alameda fires at this.
Yeah, of course, number one, just being from a distance, there's no way to really realize what you and the people down there in Phoenix are going through and have gone through. It's a devastating thing that people that aren't directly in contact with it, guys like me, can't really understand it. Our heart goes out to people, and prayers are coming from all over the place. It's just a devastating thing that obviously no one can control. But, you guys got a great community down there, the surrounding community around there. I'm familiar with what it's like down there in the town you're in, the small town, and the great community you have. And you already see the rallying that's going on, and the things, people taking care of people, and all the caring and love and neighborhood and community. All those great things are happening right in front of you, and day to day now, and people need it, but we all need each other, and this is a real strenuous time for a lot of people. But I tell you, I know how your community is. I know they're rallying towards all this. It's a great thing to see, especially for you guys, hand in hand, and even from a distance.
No, we appreciate that, Steve, very much, and I think you're very accurate with that. The idea of having an all-weather surface, something we've talked about for a long time, and now it's going to come to fruition. We really think it will. And, you are both a coach and your business is Fieldturf. So just tell us about some of the advantages that our community, our kids are going to have by having this kind of surface.
I'll tell you, Dave, it's a game changer in so many ways for the facilities, the high schools or the parks or wherever that we've been installing these products. I've been with Fieldturf for 22 years now and rep the product here in Oregon, and we've got over 160 installations statewide. So we put a lot of these in, and what it does is it really brings the community together in so many ways, because it's such a usable space for all ages, all sports, and all year round. I know you guys are experiencing some snow right now, and really what we do in some of the areas where we have these fields, it's a matter of plowing it off. If you got that much, if it's not that much, you're just on it playing, and here in the Portland area, when we get rains as much as we do, there's a lot of times it'll rain for a couple hours, then it'll clear up for an hour and a half, and at that hour and a half, people are out on the field. So I think as an athletic director, man, I can give you one warning. The biggest problem you'll have is scheduling, because
yes.
Everybody's going to want to be on it, and that's what it's for. It's for use it as much as you can, and that, again, brings the community together. Everybody is going to benefit from this thing, whether you really understand that or not, because it's at the high school. But I promise you that whole community, the whole Phoenix town community is going to have value with this product that we're putting in, and the facility and the usage of the facility. It's going to be a great thing for the community.
We are so excited. And let's just finish up, Steve, talk about the timeline a little bit. Just kind of walk us through the process of getting the field ready for turf, and then what it takes to roll that turf in.
What we do, Dave, is we take what's existing there, the grass field, and we will dig that out and go down about 10 inches. And then we'll come back in there with a drainage system for the water, but it'll be a rock base underneath the product. So it's all a vertically draining product. So it'll go right through the product, through the rock, and then catch the drainage and go out. So it's dry. That our product will carry out about 40 inches an hour of rain. Mm-hmm. So it'll be a playable surface, all the time, whether, again, it's rain, snow, what have you. That process of digging and putting the drain base in and connecting to the drains there, that's about a 4-week process. And then our installation crew will come in behind that, our contractor, and it'll be about another 3 weeks to have the field down. We sew in the seams so it's put together and sewn in. When you look at it as the process goes, you'll be thinking, wow, this doesn't look like a field, but it just comes together. We take the interior part, the numbers and the markings, the hash marks, the soccer markings, and those are what we call inlaid. So they're permanent markings, so there's no more painting for you and your facilities group. And again, about a 3-week time period. We fill it up in between the fibers. If people think of fiber like you have in a carpet, you fill it up in between those fibers with a sand and a rubber infill system, and that works as the fake grass, if you will.
Gotcha.
As the fake dirt underneath the grass. And it'll play like a grass field. In fact, I've walked on many of them before I started in this industry, and I really thought I was on a good grass field. So
wow.
We're at Spiegelberg Stadium if people want to go kind of check it out, go look at what you're going to be getting. That's the product, the Fieldturf product. Spiegelberg Stadium.
Well, we are looking forward to it, Coach. So once again, that's Steve Curry from Fieldturf, Lake Oswego High School. Steve, thank you so much for being with us. We're going to be talking with you a lot in the weeks and months and years ahead. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, Dave, we're looking forward to it. Again, God bless your great community there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, guys.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
For several weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
All right, here we are back. PT Rising Field. I'm Dave Earhart, Athletic Director, Phoenix High School, Phoenix Talent Schools.
Neil Korvalov, teacher here at Phoenix, football coach here at Phoenix.
And we have finished our first hour. Right now, our donations for tonight are about $8,250. I'd like to thank everybody who's being so generous. It's just amazing. And there's so many ways to donate. And if you donate $100 or more, $100 or more will give you on the donor wall. You'll also be put in a drawing for a $1,000 gift card from our friends at Garrison's Home.
Really?
Who've been so generous to donate that.
Wow, that's awesome.
What do you think? You're going to redo your front room?
I'm thinking about that. So, wow, that is great. Hey, real quick, what is the donor wall? What is that?
So the donor wall, we're still deciding exactly where that's going to be, but it's going to be, we've got a lot of great surfaces out there. We've got several buildings, including our concession stand. We've got an amazing weight room we're working out of right now. We've got our ticket booth area, so we're still deciding where that's going to be. But for that $100, you get a small plate on there, up to 20 characters. A lot of people are putting, their family name and maybe
great.
years of graduation or their kids' football numbers or whatever it might be. So that's $100 or more. Anybody $1,000 or more, that gets you on the donor monument. And that's going to be most likely by the flagpole at PT Rising Field. And later on, we're going to see a feature that Chris did for us on the field, the stadium, what it's looking like, our new bleachers out there, our grandstand. And it's just absolutely amazing. And we're going to put together a really neat monument there, Neil.
Wow. And is there any other levels?
We do. So that 1,000 or more is the Red and Navy Club, and that's up to $10,000 donation. Once you go over 10,000, that's the Pirate Club donation. 10,000 to 24,999.
Okay.
Right? Legends Club, 25,000 to 49,999. And then the Champions Club is $50,000 and up.
Well, Dave, you're a champion in my book.
I'm feeling like a champion tonight. And I know my wife was just on the phone and made a call, so I'm not sure.
So you're in the Champions Club?
I'm not sure what club we're going to be in, but
okay.
People have been so generous. I mean, our staff, we put it out to over 300 people who work for Phoenix Town Schools. Excuse me, I'll get this mask fixed at our break. But we've already had almost $5,000 from staff members.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's absolutely amazing. We're expecting more donations tonight. We've got so many other ways. We've got our alumni group. We've got almost $20,000 from alumni already. We've got our businesses, again, people who are vendors on the school, people who are just people who like Phoenix Talent Schools.
And we had a bunch of vendors work on that school, correct?
Oh, we did. We had a lot of them. 2-year project. It's absolutely amazing. You got a chance to see that school. And we're going to put that video, make it where we'll share it after tonight, too. We'll put it out there on our website. And it's just amazing to show what the school looks like. So we are really cooking here, Neil. We're going to take a little break right now, get ready for our second hour. So once again, thanks for being with us. Our friends at Table Rock Sports. We got to give a shout out to our cameramen. We've got Aiden Watson here tonight and Alexis Garcia.
Yeah, they've been doing great.
2 of our seniors, and they are great helpers to our lead engineer and producer, Mr. Chris Janish from Table Rock Sports. So once again, PT Rising Turfathon. We've made it through hour 1. We'll see you in a few minutes.
I was talking to Bill.
Yeah?
Bill and Sherry got a guy.
They do? How did they get a guy?
Everything happened online, including financing. And their guy even delivered their new car to their home.
Maybe we should get a guy.
I thought you might say that. Honey, meet Kyle.
Find your guy during the Ram Power Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
Introducing Unlimited with Payback, only from US Cellular. The only unlimited plan that pays you back for data you don't use. So, quit flushing money down the toilet with Verizon. Get Unlimited with Payback, and you can save up to $240 per year on a single line versus Verizon.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local U.S. Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
Saw a parent, dad in the stands yelling at his kid, trying to coach him from the bleachers, and the embarrassment on the kid's face. It looked like he was about to cry while playing the game.
I think it's very embarrassing for a student athlete to see their parents being escorted out of the gym or off the playing field.
I'd be surprised if that kid comes back to the game.
And you risk a child enjoying the game, that you rob them of the fun. You have made a bad choice.
The days grow long, and the last school bell rings, calling you to pack a bag, grab the kids, and hit the road to that fabled land of green, where adventure drifts with you on the water and carries you through the trees. So let curiosity get the best of you and take the trail less traveled to Southern Oregon. Your journey begins when you travel Medford.
As a coach, him as our principal.
Everyday heroes live life full circle. Fill up and use your enrolled kickback card so you save 16 cents a gallon at the pumps. Get what you need when you need it. And remember, we reward all heroes with kickback cards at My Circle K. And if a call goes out for another heroic appearance, no problem. We have that one covered too. With our state-of-the-art car wash systems. Be the hero you were meant to be. Heroes living life full circle.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
There's a time machine not so far away that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
All right, hey, welcome again. So as you can see out there, it's a little rainy, it's a little cold. We got our soccer team out here getting ready for their practice. You know, our soccer team, very well regarded here at Phoenix, and you know, they usually practice at Culver Field. This is going to be awesome. Culver is like out a little bit towards Talent, and I remember that, you know, it was strange to me when I first got to Phoenix that some of our fields were not at the school. So this is going to be another boon to the school here, having the ability to have soccer practice here and soccer games here. I spent many a cold nights coaching football games here, going to Culver Field for soccer, but never an evening soccer game. So that's something that's going to be pretty cool here, especially to have some evening soccer games, to have some playoff games here. And again, the turf field not going to get worn down, okay? And again, one of the coolest thing, kind of selfishly as a football coach, I think I'm going to get some soccer kids who can come kick for me, and man, that's going to make me look way better as a coach for kicking. Aiden, I might make you kick one of these days too, all right? So, you know, talking about soccer here, just taking a look at those guys. It's a little cold and rainy, and that's the cool thing about our community. We are persevering through thick and thin, and this is the kind of kids we have, and it's so exciting. So kind of want to tie that in, talk about our next speaker. Our next speaker is the principal of our school, Toby Walker. Toby and I go back a long way. Toby first started coaching here in 2005. We just talked to Matt Haggard, who was our quarterback on that team, and Toby was here as our defensive backs coach. Then Toby was finishing up his schooling. He was gone for a year, came back as a teacher in the district. 2009, Toby became our head coach for football here. Took the reins for about 6-7 years, took us to a semifinals, and now he was a vice principal, athletic director, principal, one of the greatest guys I know, and somebody that I'm proud to call a friend. And we're going to take it to his interview with him and his family, just talking about the field and everything. And so I'm going to pass that on, and you know, and then we'll come back. We'll have some interview with head coach Chris Gallegos for soccer, and we'll talk to some of their boys. But now I think we're going to throw it back to Chris, and he's going to show us that interview with Toby Walker.
Phoenix High School Principal Toby Walker is with us. Coach, it's been an interesting 9 months since the shutdown, and I know we talk a lot about getting kids back into school and how important that is. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely, Dave. I think that's the number one thing on most people's mind right now is how do we get the Pirates back into our facilities, back in front of our teachers, and back engaged in schools. So really our kids are, they've had a lot of adversity. COVID's been the adversity. Obviously the fires were an adversity. So we want to do everything we can to get them back in front of our staff to provide that support that they desperately need.
And we know extracurriculars are a big part of that, getting kids engaged and in sports and things like that, aren't they?
Absolutely. You know, speaking personally, I was a student athlete. I loved extracurricular activities. That's what got me engaged in school. That's what got me to go to college. So that's really what is the kind of the stepping stone to me getting into education. Great coaches, great experiences. You know, when student athletes participate in sports, the friendships that are made, the memories that are made, those last a lifetime. Obviously, wins and losses are great. Conference championships are wonderful. We all want those, but those memories, you can't duplicate those. You can't make those up. Those last a lifetime.
And this week we've talked to a lot of people who've been involved in the school. Ron Williams was in yesterday, former athlete here, Hall of Famer, great legacy as a coach. And you're familiar with the legacy of Phoenix football, aren't you?
Absolutely. I had the opportunity to, my first coaching stint was in 2005 as an assistant football coach under Gordy Croston. That's my first experience aboard the pirate ship. And from that point forward, I knew that I wanted to eventually land back on the ship. I had the opportunity to take over the football program in 2009. And I was a head football coach for 7 years, 7 awesome years. Fantastic memories with the kids. the community feel, just really how the community rallied around sports here was, as a coach, was just something I absolutely loved.
And definitely some memorable games out on Jack Woodward Stadium, weren't there?
Absolutely. We are fortunate to have some very good football teams, and we had some that struggled a bit at times, but we had the opportunity to play in some playoff games. And to be honest with you, our playoff game in 2009, we had to host that at Spiegelberg Stadium against Sweet Home High School. It was a bummer, but our field was an absolute mess. We had a very fast football team that year. We ran the spread offense. The best place for us to be was on an all-weather playing surface, so our kids had the best chance to win, and we came through victorious on that year.
And that's something we're talking about here, obviously, is the point of the Turfathon is talking about an all-weather playing surface. How do you think that's a game changer for us, Toby?
That's huge, Dave. And, you know, if you look at the brand new building our community just supported and building, it's absolutely amazing. It's state of the art. Every single kid that is going to come to Phoenix High School is going to love the facility they're in. We hear kids talk all the time. We're surrounded by Ashland, North Medford, Eagle Point. We're surrounded by people who have amazing facilities as well. You know, the cherry on top, as we say, that last puzzle piece is that turf field. Our stadium is beautiful. The remodel that took place is absolutely amazing. An all-weather playing surface is one more thing for our kids to go, I can't wait to be a Pirate. I want to continue being a Pirate, and I want my kids to grow up being Pirates. And I think when you think about the opportunities our kids have and our community has, it's 24/7, 365. I know you say that all the time, Dave, but it is really true. Right now, we could go out there, we could do activities, we could have youth activities, the community could be out there. There's so many options and possibilities for the all-weather surface year-round with lots and lots of memories to be had.
And even talking about PE classes, getting them out there, right?
Absolutely. I was a PE teacher myself, spent a lot of time in the gyms in the wintertime, and there's just something about getting outside, getting some fresh air, and getting physical activity. Right now, you couldn't go out there and do anything because it's super muddy. The same things, it's also the same way in the fall, believe it or not. You know, we do a lot of the early morning watering in the fall time to get the field ready for season. PE classes use it, but even in the morning, it's still wet and muddy because it's still drying out from that nighttime watering. So it would increase that usability a lot for PE classes.
Excellent. Well, Toby, thanks for spending some time with us. We appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave. Go Pirates.
All right, we're back at PT Rising Field Turfathon. I'm Dave Earhart, Athletic Director of Phoenix Talent Schools. Right now, I'm pleased to be with Chris Gallegos. Chris is our head boys soccer coach at Phoenix High School. Chris, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Chris, see the guys out there in the background? They've been working hard. You know, during this shutdown, we've been able to play some soccer. The guys have played, I believe, about 8 games. And just kind of bring us up to date. It's your first year as our head coach, but you know these kids as you've worked with them in youth soccer. And where are we at so far, do you think?
Actually, the nice thing is, because I've worked with them in youth soccer, we've kind of advanced pretty fast. So our numbers have been really good. The kids have been showing up, showing a lot of effort. The South Medford coach and I got together on this and made a kind of a league out of this for this first season to have for kids to go out and do some things. And so we were able to, like you said before, we were able to get together and play some games, and we were pretty successful on top of that. So it's been really, really great experience, and the kids have been great. And again, there's somewhere for them to come and do some activities during these times.
Well, you guys have also been working hard academically. It's pretty neat. Recently, we learned that Phoenix Boys Soccer was the 4A Team of the Month, honored by the OSAA and Les Schwab Tires. So tell us about how important that is too, Chris.
The biggest part of this is, you know, for most of these boys, high school soccer is going to be their end all. And I have to prepare them and try to for, you know, outside life of after high school, and just working hard in the classroom is going to actually produce itself out on the soccer field. So, you know, just preparing them for life skills and soccer skills, and just all kind of intertwines with each other.
You guys are used to playing year-round soccer, so really playing soccer in February when we get the clearance from the OSA isn't going to be a big deal, is it?
Not at all. No, you know, it's going to be a little chillier for us coaches. That's the that's the issue for us. You know, we get a little cold standing there coaching, but no, the boys will be ready for it no matter rain, shine, snow. They're going to be ready and ready to play.
How about the idea of an all-weather surface? That, you know, you play on turf sometimes, and just to be able to play all year round. Tell us about that a little bit.
Well, to play on turf, we play on turf most of the time. The only times we usually don't play on turf is when we have home games, which I love our grass. I like playing on the grass. We have beautiful fields. We probably have some of the best grass fields in Southern Oregon. But to have the ability to play somewhere where it's not going to destroy our fields, it takes 1 or 2 solid soccer games with a hard rain to destroy the soccer fields, especially the goal areas. So to have a place to go, not only for the high school boys and girls, but also for the local club here at Southern Oregon Soccer Academy to come out and play on, that would be huge for us. So yeah, having anything like that, and then on top of it, having the community to be able to access it and do their thing out there, it's going to be great.
Well, we're truly looking forward to it. Chris, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. We're going to take a little break here. We're going to come back and talk to some of the soccer kids. Once again, Chris Gallegos, boys soccer coach, Phoenix High School.
There's a time machine not so far away that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love my team, I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Okay, guys, we're back. Phoenix Talent Rising Field Turfathon. We're very excited. Got a couple of our soccer standouts here tonight. We've got Caden Gallegos, Cornelio Carrera Flores. That's my favorite name to introduce when we'll do our pregame stuff. But guys, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Soccer guys back here, give a wave. Got our boys soccer program back there. They've been playing 8 games so far. Guys, what's it been like to be back on the pitch here throughout the COVID shutdown?
It's been pretty great. I mean, it's just a blessing because especially with all that has happened through Phoenix recently, I mean, I can just say thank you to who's ever letting us back on.
And Corn, in terms of the fires, obviously we know they've touched a lot of folks. I know you've had a personal experience with that. How are we bouncing back as a community from the fires, do you think?
I mean, the community's been coming back pretty good. They've been helping a lot, so that's really good.
That's huge, isn't it, guys? What do you think about being able to play soccer as an OSA sport again if things work out by late February?
It'd be amazing. Like I said earlier, I mean, it'd only be a blessing because it'd let people that need to get out and play, get out and play. So.
Exactly. And then, Corn, playing on artificial turf. You know, that's what we're here for tonight, talking about this. You guys were just working out in the rain out there. It's kind of slippery. How much of a difference would that make to have a really nice all-weather surface?
I mean, the weather's nice with body temperature, with our body heat, and it's cooling us down, so I really like it.
But the fields it's going to be helpful because, I mean, the mud.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be very, very helpful, and that field won't get so dirty when we train on it. It'll be really great.
All right, guys. Once again, that's Caden Gallegos, Cornelio Carrera Flores, Phoenix High School boys soccer. One more. Let's give a wave out there, guys. All right, Pirates soccer. Once again, we'll go to commercial break. Thank you, guys.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, Food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
For several weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Everyday heroes live life full circle. Fill up and use your enrolled kickback card so you save 16 cents a gallon at the pumps. Get what you need when you need it. And remember, we reward all heroes with kickback cards at My Circle K. And if a call goes out for another heroic appearance, no problem. We have that one covered too. With our state-of-the-art car wash systems. Be the hero you were meant to be. Heroes living life full circle.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Welcome back. We're in the weight room at the Phoenix High School.
Yes. Home of the Pirates, Dave.
Home of the Pirates. Boys soccer just finishing up, starting to snow again.
That's
it is
good.
definitely challenging up.
That's definitely not normal soccer, football, outdoor weather in the regular season, but hey, we've got a change in, former AD, current AD, always have to hear from the OSAA what's going on with that.
Well, Monday, the OSAA came out with some guidance for us about where things are at, and we hopefully will start fall sports very late, but those are going to start February 8th. Football would start.
Okay.
February 22nd, then volleyball, cross country, soccer, and cheerleading would start. And then games, we're going to play a 5-week season, and then we'd move to spring sports. So in early April, we'll start baseball, softball, track, golf, tennis. So we'd get that opportunity, another 5-week season, a couple weeks of practice in 5 weeks. So we're waiting to hear what our game limitations are. And then if things are open back up to the point that we can play basketball and have wrestling and have swimming, we'd be able to do that to finish the year. Looking at the year going through to the end of June, Neil.
End of June. Wow. Hey, that's, you know what? You and I both deal with this when we were AD. Probably don't have to worry about attendance.
We don't have to worry about attendance. We'll be playing games that count after graduation because our graduation is on June 12th.
June 12th. I'm excited.
It's crazy. And speaking of graduation, after the turf field's in, our plan is to have graduation right here at Phoenix High School.
That's going to be awesome. I mean, I keep saying this, and people are probably going to be tired of it, but this is a showcase. This is a beacon for the community. It's a legacy for everybody involved.
A true legacy. Definitely something to put your name behind.
Yep.
And we're just so, again, the residents of Phoenix and Talent who voted on this bond gave us the approval to go ahead. 2 years ago is when they broke ground on the school. Not even 2 years ago. Really about 18 months ago. And to be the point that we're going to move into that school next Friday. We're going to fire that cannon. I should warn the neighborhood about 8:15 next Friday morning. That cannon's going to go off, and all of our staff is going to go into that school as a group.
You know, when Mr. Barry was talking about the cannon the first time, my dad, he's kind of a older, he's older, and he loves coming to Pirate football, and he likes, we're into racing and stuff and loud noise, and he's like, man, that cannon, it's awesome. And he goes, in fact, we should make that thing louder. So that's a pretty fun thing. I am so pumped. I keep walking into the new school and looking in my room, and I'm like, I can't believe that day is coming.
Every time we walk in there, it's amazing. We've had a chance to go in there for the last couple of weeks I've given probably about 15 tours, and it never gets old to show off all those neat things that are going on.
I can't wait to give, like how Matt Haggard was here, former students. I had Chase Courtney come in, and we were going to hear his interview. I want to show them, like, look what our community has done. Look what the people approved, and look what this beautiful thing looks like.
Exactly. So a little more on the OSA decision, Neil. We're waiting some more guidance, but we're going to continue practicing as much as our programs want to until early February.
So this is the longest summer season I've ever been involved with.
I told Coach Johnson, I said, this is a very long preseason here, Coach. But, you've been involved in our practices. How's that been going? And Coach told us about it too, but give us your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, kids are still kind of like getting back into the swing, and we've been getting a good core number out, and they've been doing stuff, and there's so much. They're like, Coach, can we go one-on-one? Can we do 7-on-7? Like, we can't do those things yet. We can't hit. We can't do that. But, they're getting there. And then, I think we're learning, but it's, it's part of the rebuild for the whole program. And, with the fires and everything, trying to get all our kids together, because you know how hard it is if you have 15 today and then 25 tomorrow, but it was a different 25. We're still trying to get those things going, but getting the word out. And I think the excitement, I had a kid message me today, like, Coach, I can't come today to practice. And he goes, but wait a minute, are we actually getting turf before the season? I said, yes, it's going to be sweet. And he was like, Coach, I'm going to roll on turf. So he was pretty excited on that. And hold on, I'm getting a little notice. Oh, one of my former students, one of my favorite students, played for Phoenix, Alondra Ruvalcaba, donated $100. Alondra, thank you so much. We love you. I miss you. Okay, that's awesome.
Alondra did a great job as a soccer player for us. She did. Headed up to Portland to play soccer. Yeah. Was also part of our cheer program last year. So definitely, we really miss having all of our kids here. But as they say, once a pirate,
always a pirate.
You got it, Coach. Well, speaking of pirates, right now, we're going to talk about girls soccer a little bit. And a little later, we're expecting a visit from our girls soccer team.
All right.
They are just finishing a game right now in this chilly conditions.
Well, that was a good segue with Alondra. Alondra, good job.
See,
that kind of worked out.
And they're finishing a game over at North Medford High School right now.
Oh, in the snow.
In the snow. So we're expecting some of the girls to come over. But before that, we're going to hear from our girls soccer coach and softball coach, Stephanie Vandenbush. Steph's on the road tonight. She's at a soccer clinic, always working to get better as a coach.
And how many years has she been with us now?
Steph started coaching in 2015. Believe
for
took
softball.
Soccer or softball. I can't remember. That was before I was here. And then took the other one the next year. So she's
softball
been coaching
was
about
first.
5 years.
Softball was first.
So softball and then soccer. So once again, we're going to roll that interview with Steph. All right, with us we have Stephanie Vandenbush. Steph is our girls soccer coach, head softball coach. Steph, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, just want to talk about, in the last 9 months, it's been challenging for our student athletes, and you see them, a couple sports. When we do get the kids back, when you've had practices, we actually had a soccer game recently.
Yeah.
How's that been?
It's been amazing. Just really getting to connect with the kids again, and, actually having some FaceTime instead of FaceTiming has been really nice. And, seeing where we started with distance practicing in the summer and kind of being reserved to being actually to play has been great. I mean, we've seen great improvement with conditioning and just their confidence. And also having that piece to keep them connected and going to their online classes. So that's been really good.
Steph, you were a multi-sport athlete. How important are sports just to a kid's well-being? It's that piece of the puzzle for a lot of kids, isn't it?
It's just one of those things that teaches you life skills while you're playing a game. Life experience with determination and grit and never giving up. And I think that we can really look back at this year and kind of where we are now. And, there's lots of things out of our control, but how can we control the things that we have control of? And that's basically all sports are and all life is. You can only do, so much, and just really focusing on the things that you can control. And so I think that's pretty much what we're doing in sports.
So right now, as we finish the new school, our push obviously is the artificial turf or the synthetic playing surface. And how would that help girls soccer? How does that help softball, having a 24/7, 365 opportunity?
Yeah, so it's huge to kind of that missing piece to, what we've been seeing is we are, both soccer and softball are off-site from our weight room and our track, which would be, a missing piece would be the turf. And if we had that, we could run, full off-season practices out on the turf, whether it was in the morning with the lights on or at night. We could also have night games for senior day, which the girls have been blogging, just in my ear about for years. And I think that would be a nice thing for them to have. But really getting us to that next step would be, we could run a softball practice out there and have access to the weight room or the track for conditioning. And same thing for soccer. We could do conditioning drills, have a group in the weight room and have a group doing tactical stuff on the field. So it would really provide that missing piece.
And then we talk about playing, November soccer. That means we're in the playoffs. A couple of years ago, we went on the road. Remember how muddy it was up there at North Marion? So just to be able to have that kind of reliable surface, pretty important, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Especially if, we have really nice grass fields, but everywhere else probably isn't the same. But having that consistent playing field, especially in the playoffs, that would create an advantage not only for soccer, but for football and any other sports that we're going to be either playing a game or practicing out there. So that would be huge.
Excellent, Steph. Well, thanks for being part of our Turfathon effort, and I will look forward to seeing you on a daily basis when we get these kids back on the fields, right?
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we are back. Our numbers continue to grow. We're pushing $25,000. We're getting close right now.
That's good.
So we're excited. Again, we're trying to get to $100,000 tonight towards PT Rising Field. It's amazing.
That's a great name, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It just, it's things come to you really easy sometimes when they're natural, and that was just like Phoenix Talent Rising.
I got a quick question. If we get a logo on the field, is it going to be the Pirate logo or that PTS Rising logo? What's the thought there?
Yeah, we really haven't talked about that yet, but our good friends at Fieldturf are going to help us negotiate through all this.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool. We've just heard from Fieldturf that they're committed to us to help cut that cost down and save us money. So we're not exactly sure how much that's going to be, but we know it's going to be substantial. So we really appreciate that. Talk to the guys at Fieldturf. Looks like we just went over $25,000, almost to $26,000.
$25,750.
Nice. So we're making great progress here, folks. So again, thank you so much for donating. Remember, those donations are tax deductible. You go make that donation, and the tax ID number for the school district is right on that form when you sign up. So no problem at all. Or if you don't get that, give us a call. We'll give you the number. Anybody want our tax ID number, we will share it. Right?
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, we can do it all that time. And, we're kind of joking, but not like, hey, any donation is good.
Exactly.
Anything. Nothing's too low. Nothing's too high.
You got it. And, in the wake of the fires, Neil, when people have been so generous, and there were people that showed up and said, I want to give $1.
Yeah.
And that's great. And everything, and people with the gift cards, and over $1 million.
I mean, that was amazing. I mean, I worked a couple of times at when we were at the Home Depot. Chrissy Sanders was there. I saw Celine. I saw you. It was such an outpouring. People were so thankful just to have somebody there and grab stuff, and they were like, well, can I take this? And we were like, yeah. And they were like wanting to give you hugs, and then they were so compassionate, like, well, I'll leave some of this because I know somebody else needs something, and like, no, I can get by without. It was the most amazing thing, because I've never been through anything like that, and I hope I never do again, but that part was like so powerful.
Well, you look at the things that have happened. None of us have been through a pandemic before. Nope. And these horrific wildfires. I mean, it just keeps coming at us. We're pretty excited about saying goodbye to 2020 here.
Yep.
We think 2021 is going to be a huge year for our communities, for our school district, for the people that comprise this amazing place.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Really. So right now, speaking of amazing stuff, we're going to go on a tour of our new field.
Ooh.
Yeah, this week, Neil and I had a chance to take a walk out there with our good friend Chris Janish from Table Rock Sports, who's helping amazingly produce tonight.
Oh, he's awesome. Chris, you're doing amazing. Thank you so much.
Stud. And Chris put together a nice video feature like he did the school one about PT Rising Field. Excited about our field project. Just super, really looking forward to what it's going to look like. It looks great out here right now when you look at our track and our beautiful stadium. We've got brand new lights. I'm just really pleased with the way it's turned out. And the piece to finish it is really going to be this synthetic all-weather surface. Right now, we can use the surface for about 20 hours a week throughout the fall season, just because grass gets torn up. And when we put in this synthetic turf, we're going to be able to use it 24/7, 365, marching band, soccer playoff games, soccer regular season games, full football program, youth sports, community sports, unified sports, all those things are going to benefit from having this kind of surface. Anybody giving $100 or more, we're going to recognize you on the donor wall over here on the weight room. Anybody $1,000 or more, we're going to have a monument at the entrance to PT Rising Field. We're going to recognize those folks. So again, people, there's no donation too small at all. And again, lots of ways to give. You can do that electronically right now. Go to getmeregistered.com and just search out Phoenix Talent. It's on there, a great secure registration site. You can send a check to PT Rising Field, P.O. Box 697 in Phoenix, 97535. I'm glad to help you out there too as well. So whatever you can do. We've got those phone numbers tonight that we're sharing throughout the Turfathon. Those are going to be active for a couple months. Call us anytime and we'll help you get your donation all set. There's no donation too small for this. If you've got $5,000 or want to give us $50,000, whatever works for you. We've talked to so many groups throughout the valley already. We've talked to foundations. Our school district, of course, is supporting it. Vendors who built that beautiful new high school. People we do business with. Our district staff. So many people getting involved. So again, no donation too small, and again, no donation too large. We'll help you out to help us finish Phoenix Talent Rising Field.
There's a time machine not so far away that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
PT Rising Field. I'm Dave Earhart along with Neil Carvalho. C-Money, we keep rolling here.
We are rolling. We're almost, can you believe we're almost done with hour 2? Remember we talked about this before. We're like, wow, 4 hours seems a lot, but it's like a walk in the park so far.
Cruising along. And again, just want to extend a thanks to all the folks helping us make this possible. When I first brought this idea to Brent and Toby, they just kind of said, go with it. And they've been amazing in terms of giving me the time to help organize this stuff. Neil, you've been super as a partner in this. Appreciate it.
It's been fun. And like I said, I'm super pumped about everything. And, being in the community, it's something I want to do and want to help with.
Well, we've got a turf committee together. Lots of folks have been working on this, so we'd just like to extend some thanks. We got 2 of them over here helping on the phones tonight. That's Christy Sanders and Celine Fairmont. Our total is over $35,000 right now. Just a few minutes ago, we heard from one of our suppliers. Somebody's going to be involved in the Fieldturf project with a $10,000 donation. So
wow, that's awesome.
Excited about that. Neil, tell us again how people can donate.
Yeah, so phone numbers 541-973-1521 or 541-531-6822. Can call and make a pledge. You can send a check-in to Phoenix High School for PT Rising Field, and that's P.O. Box 697, Phoenix, Oregon, 97535. And there's also electronically at getmeregistered.com/PT Rising Field. And remember, this is not only a one-time thing. You can still donate through the end of the project, okay? Because this project's going to be ongoing, and we're still taking donations, and looks like we got an update, Dave.
We did. We just had another $10,000 donation come in.
Wow, that is awesome. So now we're up to $45,850. Was that an anonymous donation? I'll find out if that person wants to be noticed and stuff.
We will check on that, but $10,000. Thank you so much. And again, you people are just being so generous. We truly appreciate it. Well, Neil, before we go to our next feature, let's talk a little bit of football, a little more college football.
Yes.
Okay, you're a big supporter of the Oregon Ducks.
I am.
I
I'm
know,
a season ticket holder, and since 2002, Dave.
2002, going on 20 years. I bet that's part of your legacy, isn't it?
It is part of my legacy, and, that was something, I think I told you this story in Hawaii. My number one team that I love for some reason, maybe because it was my high school, similar to my high school colors when I was a kid, I was a USC Trojan fan, even before University of Hawaii.
Wow.
Moved up here, kind of just, I went to SOU, so there was no real Duck tie-in, and then got friends with my buddy Gary Laney, and we kind of started, he was a Duck fan, and I kind of started changing, and the time finally came. USC played Oregon. Achilles Smith takes it to the house in overtime to win, and I was cheering for Oregon, and that was like the turning point. I know Randy Shipley, our former teacher, really hated that because he's a Trojan fan, but that's when I knew I became an Oregon fan. So
you were destined. You were destined to land in Oregon from Hawaii, weren't you?
Yeah.
Well, now we got to be careful here because we're going to get the business if we're only talking Oregon Ducks, because there's another team in this state who's having a nice season.
Oregon State Beavers are looking really good. I mean, they got probably, if not the best, one of the best running backs in the nation, Jamar Jefferson, and that team is coming up, and it's great. I mean, there are some Duck fans and Beaver fans who are like, oh, I'll never cheer for them. But, hey, to me, if the state can do good, I'm all for it. And so, as long as it's not against the Ducks, unless it really is going to hurt the Ducks, I'll hope the Beavers win. And, they're playing really well. Jonathan Smith's doing a great job. They're up and coming. Oregon has a great recruiting class coming in. They're kind of struggling this year. We talked to one of their players who'll be up later, Brady Breeze. They lost some leadership. But, hey, I think the state of Oregon football, I mean, my alma mater, SOU, won the national championship a few years ago and then got back to the finals the next year. One of our former players, Javin Gale, is playing for SOU. Oregon football is kind of getting there on the landscape. And, it's cool that Oregon State got their season going. Hopefully SOU gets going, and, we go back to normal in the future, because there's nothing like going to a college football game, as you know.
I know. We've met you up there before, Neil, going to games, and it's a great atmosphere there at Autzen Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Also at Reeser Stadium.
Yep, I've been to Reeser. I watched the Beavs beat Washington State, and their sad little guy, Butch, their Cougar, was pretty disappointed. Yep. So it was a good win for the Bees, and I saw them play at home, so it was fun. It's fun going.
Well, once again, if you're just joining us, I'm Dave Earhart. This is Neil Carvalho, both from Phoenix High School. We're pleased to welcome you to the Phoenix Talent Rising Turfathon. Our goal, in the wake of the Alameda fires, as we battle from COVID to finish off our brand new school, is to install an all-weather playing surface here at Phoenix High School. So we're really excited about that. Thanks for being along for this ride. We're almost halfway through with our friends from Table Rock Sports. So next up, again, we talked to lots of people this week, and one group we talked to was our local firefighters. Those guys were on the front lines. It's amazing.
It was
this next interview, just what you'll hear. Brian Bolstad is a parent. His wife is a teacher in our district, Kendra. Two great kids, Josie and Julius. Super involved, super athletic kids, big parts of our programs. And again, Brian's a firefighter, Jackson County Fire District, and just tells a story here that he's going to share with us in terms of what it was like throughout that week.
I bet it was
during the Alameda fires.
Crazy.
Exactly. So we're going to roll that feature on Brian. All right, we're here with Brian Bolstad, Jackson County Fire District 5. Brian is a district parent, involved in the community in lots of ways, and most importantly, part of our fire department, which did an amazing job through the fires. Brian, it's a couple months ago already, but I know you and your crew were really involved in the events throughout those few days. Can you just kind of tell us some of the things you're remembering about that?
Sure. It was an ominous day, as most people know in our area. Red flag warnings, high winds, low humidity, and a fire spread rapidly. Of course, burned through our towns within the school district and within our fire district. Burned through the heart of those communities.
And, as that day was unfolding, obviously you had no idea what it was going to become, but it was almost probably surreal for you guys just having to, how long were you on duty that day and how did that all unfold?
Great question. Most often in the summertime, if we have a fire breakout, we'll have multiple agencies there, and we'll jump on it, and it'll be typically small. You know, a fire bigger than 5 or 10 acres within our valley is a big deal in the summer. So the winds propelled this fire rapidly through our communities, and started at roughly 11 o'clock on a Tuesday, and we brought on all hands on deck, and every vehicle we had was out trying to suppress the fire. And I put in a 68-hour shift, basically. So
wow.
20 hours of off-duty time, and then my regular 48-hour shift.
Crazy, 68
I've never
hours.
been so worn out.
I bet, and mentally and physically, I bet, right?
Yeah, the destruction, it was moving from one feeling of failure to another, where you try to put in a lot of work on a structure, and then have to bounce forward to a structure downwind burning.
Wow. Wow. And then the schools, obviously, were right in that fire path. And can you tell us about the effort it took to keep Phoenix High School, the elementary school, the brand new Phoenix High School, to keep those intact? Is there anything that stands out about that?
Those are high value, what we call target hazards for our community. And so they are a high priority when it comes to protection. So with any fire, we're going to divide up as needs arise into divisions or battalions or strike teams or even task forces. So different names for different categories of vehicles. So this fire was so large and fast moving that we had multiple teams of crews that were working at different sides of the fire. And a high priority was on keeping the fire out of Talent, away from the schools, and trying to steer it away from the high value schools in Phoenix as well.
Wow.
So we really were trying to steer the fire as we could, where we could, and suppress it. But stopping it was an immense challenge.
When did it become apparent, how far into in that 68-hour shift, that this was like something you'd never seen before? Did you know that right away, or did it take some time for that to kind of set in?
That's a great question. So, like I said, typically when we have a grass fire in the summer, we'll jump on it. Maybe a few people off duty will come help, and within a couple hours, those off-duty fellows are headed home. That wasn't the case this day. So around 9 p.m. that night, fire started at 11 a.m. But around 9 p.m. I realized we're going to have to work at this overnight. Mm-hmm. There's fires burning everywhere. And it was a constant challenge to continually look ahead at what was happening next.
From a standpoint of afterwards, and like you said, did it take you a couple days to kind of recover from that 68 hours? And what was your mindset as people started to figure out how much damage had really been done, and then the follow-up from the fire department?
Also a great question. That was one of the hardest parts, was leaving work at the end of our shift. I wasn't alone in working those long hours. There were virtually all of us worked extra time and were invited to help out as much as possible. So many of us, nearly all of us, put in numerous hours. And so by the time I could go home after that 68 hours, I was worn out, and my family was evacuated. My house had no power. So thankfully, I was busy enough that by the time I laid my head down that night and slept for 14 hours, I was just able to tackle these other issues.
And you had issues, like you said, where your own family had to be evacuated and things like that. So just in the aftermath, it's amazing the community effort that's gone into getting things stabilized here. Can you talk about that a little bit, Brian?
Sure. As you know, there's an outpouring of support from all over the valley, the state, the nation, as folks who either grew up here or moved away would contribute money or goods, or those who felt sorry for us. The challenges that we're facing from COVID as a challenge existing already to this fire that happened basically the day before the first day of school. It's posed a tremendous challenge. So the outpouring of support from both locals, but also strangers, has been immense.
It has been. You've got 2 high school age kids who are very involved and chomping at the bit to get back here and things like that. And that's something we're hoping to do soon. How about just the frustrations as a parent of trying to, and seeing them not being able to compete the way they love to compete?
Sports motivate my children to do well at school, and it truly gets them out of bed in the morning. I think online school is a challenge for most kids. That is also true for my kids. They miss going to school, working hard all day, going to practice, coming home, doing homework. That whole routine is out the door during this time.
Yep.
For most kids. Sports have allowed my kids to be an integral part of Phoenix High School.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been very good for them and good for the teams they've been on.
Now, this effort is to put an all-weather playing surface in, provide the community a brand new surface as we rebuild. I know you've got a football player, you've got a baseball player, basketball, softball, the whole gamut there between your kids. Just talk about having good facilities, quality facilities for kids.
Mm-hmm. Good facilities make all the difference. So having a field or a surface or a dugout or a batting cage or a stadium that you can be proud of makes all the difference. And I believe our community and our school district has done a good job of building programs and facilities that our kids can be proud of.
Now we're looking forward to finishing this project. So Brian, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Your contributions to PT Rising Field. And we are back. Once again, Phoenix Talent Rising Turfathon. Dave Earhart, Athletic Director, Phoenix Talent Schools, here with Neil Carvalho, football coach, teacher. Lots of roles here at the school. Neil, how long have you been teaching with us?
At Phoenix, this is year 23, year 28 overall.
Wow. And when you were going to SOU, did you know much about Phoenix at that time in terms of a place that you might want to teach someday, or what was it like?
No, not at all. So when I went through SOU, going through it, I thought, man, here we go. Thought I wanted to be in the Medford School District. I thought Medford was the place.
Yep.
And got my first job at Butte Falls, little school, home of the Loggers, taught there for 5 years. Had the opportunity at Phoenix, and my gosh, it is the best thing that I ever did.
It's turned out well. Turned out well. Has it gone fast?
It has gone fast, yeah. I mean, it was crazy that all of a sudden I'm in year 28 teaching and 23 at Phoenix, and, I might retire after next school year. The only thing really holding me back from if I retire 1 year, is if I go that extra year, I get my 25-year pair-pin.
You better hang on for that, baby.
But, I have the 20, so I have 5, 10, 15, and 20. That's just kind of the thing. And, I got the word that last 10,000 donation was from Ellen Carvalho.
Who's that?
Well, she didn't clear this with me, but she is my wife. She's a former teacher here. She taught here for 29 years, longer than me, and she said she loved it, loved everything about it, and she just loves the district, super supportive. Spending some of my it was great. It's kind of cool because, we independently make some decisions, and she wanted to donate, and I was like, do what you want to do and donate what you want, and she came up with her own money, so
that is amazing.
Of what she wanted to do. So, yeah, thank you very much to Ellen, and really appreciate it. And she said her sister was a former teacher back east in Eastern Oregon at Pilot Rock, small little school, and was sending a check in. So I don't know what that one is going to be, but, I appreciate my in-laws and family doing that. So
that's great. And that's the thing. It's just amazing. And, whatever total we end up at tonight, and of course, like we talked about, tonight's goal is $100,000, but we know that total is going to grow in the next week, next days, weeks, months. because, we're committed to this project. We know, we're going to make it
Yeah,
happen.
we're not stopping today. I mean,
No.
we're not going to say, well, let's put everything away and
Nope.
we're good to go.
And if you give tonight, you give in the coming days, this field's going to happen. It really is. We make that promise to you. This is truly going to happen. Don't think, like Neil said, this is going to be tucked away in 5 years from now. We're going to put a field in. No way. Our amazing school board is so supportive of us. Like we said, Mr. Barry, Mr. Walker, give us their full support to go ahead and push forward with this project. We've connected with Fieldturf. We've talked to Steve Corey before, and he's a guy that's going to get things done for us.
Yeah, I mean, we said, originally football was supposed to start like February 22nd. Now it's February 8th. I think you said the timeline to kind of start working in the field might move up a little bit.
We could start earlier. There's a good chance that they could start excavation work before Christmas.
Wow, that's going to be awesome.
Get some time in.
I'm going to come and look and watch and spy a little bit because I just want to see how they do it and how everything happens.
Yeah, so it's amazing. Hey, before we take a break here, let's recap again. We're around $45,000, I think.
Yep, $45,850.
So pushing for 46. Let's try to get this over 50 in the next 15, 20 minutes.
That would be the halfway point, right?
Let's get it at the halfway point.
Hey, that's only $4,150. I think we can hit that, no problem. If you're out there, please, in Hawaii, I'm from Hawaii, we say please kokua, means to help. Please kokua if you can. It's appreciated, okay? In Hawaii, we say live with aloha. That's how I try to teach. I know Mr. Hart for the last 3 years, and I know how he is and his personality and his beliefs. And, for the community, this is going to be a great thing, and I cannot wait for the opening ceremony.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. We're really looking forward to it. Talking about some of the folks that have donated to this cause since we started it from the very beginning. A lot of really neat people. The OSA Foundation, along with On Point Community Credit Union, which is the official financial service of the OSAA, and again, OSAA is Oregon School Activities Association. They, with their fire relief fund, $4,000. Just amazing what they raised. We got a check one day from the Brookings football program for $400 with a note saying, we don't know where you want to use this, but we feel so bad for what you're going through. So $400 from Brookings football.
That's awesome.
Protectors Insurance has helped out. They're going to be on the monument, and that's our insurance company here at the district.
Coach Flenner used to work there.
Exactly. That's where Dennis worked for a long time. Thrive Athletic Consulting. That's our good friend Kevin Bryant.
Yes.
And he's a guy that he's a...
Great. Dave, those were great trainings. I enjoyed going through those.
We did some professional development for our coaching staff here at Phoenix High School and Talent Middle School. And Kevin Bryant is an athletic director extraordinaire. He's a doctor of sports science and just wonderful. And he's a sponsor of us. Again, we've said our friends at Fieldturf are going to help us out. District staff, now around $15,000 of donations after Mrs. Carvalho dropped that bombshell out.
Yeah.
Well. David Villeneuve is De Villeneuve is an attorney. In the Medford area, and
I think one of our old football coaches worked for that company.
There you go. So he's a donator, $5,000. Quality Fence was a vendor on our new building. As soon as we sent the word out the other day, boom, I got an email back from them saying $5,000, guys. Here you go. Les Schwab Stores of Southern Oregon. We've got some connections there, and $2,000 they came up with for us, Neil.
Sweet.
So it's just amazing. Some other folks, several of our administrators are taking part. Brent and Sarah Berry, Kurt Schenk. Kurt's the the elementary principal over at Orchard Hill Elementary.
Yep.
He's been at Talent Elementary. He's been at Talent Middle School. Just a great guy. He came over and dropped off a donation today. Randy Waite, our new assistant principal here,
Randy,
former Crater coach.
Crater coach, and he's from Idaho, Montana.
Idaho. He's an Idaho guy. So it's just been a great fit for us, and we really appreciate Randy making the donations.
He's a great guy.
He is. So many of our staff members throughout. I saw Tammy Ingerson's name on there tonight. Tammy's in our counseling department, our academic counselor. Celine and Christy, and right now Christy's on the hunt, tracking folks down who are making donations. We'd like to thank the Watson family.
Definitely.
Dawn is our school board chair and made a very generous donation. And Aiden, our cameraman. Thank you, Aiden, once again, doing a great job. He and Alexis Garcia. So just so many people have stepped up to donate. So once again, thank you for generosity. We've got about a little less than 2 hours to go, Neil, and we're going to crank this thing
Dave,
up.
we got a new number.
What do we got?
We're at 46,200.
46.2. So again, the push to 50,000's on. So once again, we'll take a short commercial break here. PTS Rising Field Turfathon.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
For several weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
For several weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Everyday heroes live life full circle. Fill up and use your enrolled kickback card so you save 16 cents a gallon at the pumps. Get what you need when you need it. And remember, we reward all heroes with kickback cards at My Circle K. And if a call goes out for another heroic appearance, no problem. We have that one covered too. With our state-of-the-art car wash systems. Be the hero you were meant to be. Heroes living life full circle.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
And we're back. Once again, Phoenix Talent Rising Fieldturf-a-thon. All-weather surface is what we're working to put in here at Phoenix High School. I'm Dave Earhart, Director of District Athletics, Phoenix High School Athletic Director as well. Assistant Principal is Neil Carvalho, longtime teacher, coach, kind of the mayor of Phoenix, I think.
You know, Dave, kind of funny. I've wrote myself in as the mayor for the election a couple of times. I haven't won, but I think I had like my vote and Ellen's vote, so I had at least 2 votes.
If elected, would you have taken that position?
I don't know. I probably would have resigned, but it would have been cool. I would have given a speech and something.
Would there have been a investigation into your work? Would there have been concerns?
I don't think so. I would probably rock that. I might have to do that sometime just to be cool.
So once again, we're working all-weather field is what we want to put in, and tonight's a great night.
Dave, what an example. I mean, we were watching the soccer and football players, and I will tell you honestly, I was really glad that I wasn't coaching tonight, and I told Coach Johnson, I said, hey, you know I'm broadcasting, so I can't be out there. They were slipping and sliding all around and falling, and I was watching our kicker, Kyle Braun kick, and I looked at Dave Johnson. I said, I bet you he falls. And sure enough, he fell. So all-purpose field, all-weather field turf will really rectify that. And I mean, it was, kids were just coming back in from the soccer players saying they were slipping with the ice kind of on their throat, and that won't happen with a turf field.
No, it's going to be so much better. And, if we were actually in season right now playing a game out there
tonight,
that'd be terrible. It would just destroy it.
Yep.
It would absolutely destroy it. So, again, this field is going to help so many different groups throughout our area. Of course, our soccer and football programs, but our marching band. We've got a great marching band program, unified sports to get, wheelchair access onto the field. Right now, you couldn't do that.
Oh, no, that thing would be terrible.
All the different things. Again, we talked about, like Brent said, playing middle school football here.
Yeah, because that's, those kids love coming over for that one game. And then, we have Pop Warner, whose season seems to go longer than regular high school football.
It does.
And, they usually play here, and that's another thing that, they're tiny and all, that still uses the field up, and that's just one more use we'll have, and just other community things. I know we've had community members having events out in the field. We used to have a Renaissance fair that took place here, and, all those things can come back now.
Well, one thing we've talked about a lot is a marching band competition.
Oh, that'll be great, because it's always in Grants Pass.
Well, that's the thing, and we've heard from we'll hear from our marching band folks, Mike Durrell, Scott Morrison, in a little while, and it's just, it's so cool. I know Sarah Crawford's here tonight helping answer phones, and she annually goes and watches our marching band kids, and just to be able to host something like that for smaller schools would be amazing. But right now we can't do that just because of the fact that the field gets so torn up. We're really excited. But before we get going here in hour 2, we're going to show that video again. Neil was part of that video. It's the voice of Neil Carvalho.
It is.
Along with the video footage from Chris from Table Rock Sports. So let's roll that video.
Looking at the school, it's very 21st century. It's built to kind of grow as the enrollment and population grows, but it's also kind of a quaint area. And we have, it's really broken up into 3 areas with Tech CTE, which is the career technology places. And we've looked at where we have a state-of-the-art culinary kitchen. It's kind of like, restaurant quality, and we expect so many great things to come out of there, and our kids are going to be super excited and well trained there. The welding program has a great space in there where you can do pretty much all types of the welds that they have with the plasma cutters that they have, and then our auto shop is also kind of a state-of-the-art. Several cart lifts, they do the engine repair, so all those spaces are going to be really great. And then in other CTE wing, we have our digital media program where we do our broadcasting. The program I'm with is our business and marketing program, and we have different things there with laser cutters and 3D printers. So we try to encompass everything together, and then we have the art with us, which has drawing, painting, and ceramics. So it's going to be a great great place for students. And then as you move along, there's spaces for kids to do collaboration work, which is we're really big on collaboration between students. Then you have the academic wing with where you have your science, or actually the English and math is on that wing, and then in the middle wing between is the science. So we have great spacing with the business of the students. Also there's going to be good technology in each classroom. We all have touchscreen Promethean screens in there for every teacher to use and project their computers. So it's going to be really a good blend of technology, the new wave of doing things, along with back to your old school methods. And then standing here in the library, such a awesome view. We have a maker space back there for kids to do projects and everything. So it's going to be pretty exciting. We have our Pirate Cafe out there, and it's the Pirate Galley, and it's a great place for for them to have their food for lunch and breakfast even. And then just the spaces everywhere outside. We have the courtyard where kids can collaborate and just hang out and de-stress. We have spaces down on the bottom floor and the top floor of their commons where it's going to be natural light coming in. They can hang out, they can communicate, they can collaborate. Outside we have our great animal care center and our agriculture center, along with the construction center. So we've built so many different programs, especially on the CTE range. So for those kids who want to kind of go kind of career-wise instead of true academic only, it's going to give some great options to our students, and that's something we're really excited about. And the school is kind of a centerpiece for the community, and that's kind of what everything involved with our school is going to be, including our fields and programs. So everything is kind of centered around community and pride. And being here as long as I have, this is something that brings great joy to me. I live in the community, so I'm super pumped about the new school, the fields, everything, our leadership of our school. It's been a great time, and with everything that's happened, this is going to be something that is a beacon to our community.
Lead us, Neil.
All right, hey, welcome back. Neil Carvalho along with Dave Earhart, going in strong into hour number 3.
Over halfway there.
Yeah, PT Rising Field. Hey, remember, donate. You can, it's really easy. Phone numbers on the bottom. You got that 541-973-1521, the 541-531-6822. You can donate electronically, getmeregistered.com/PT Rising Field, or you can send a check, PT Rising Field, P.O. Box 697, Phoenix, Oregon, 97535. They're on the bottom of the screen. They're scrolling also. And I think we're looking, we got, if you can see that there, new total, $48,300. That's just great, community. Everybody, thank you so much for all those who've been donating. Keep those coming in. Remember, we got that goal of 100,000. Let's try to make that work. So
keep rolling along.
Yeah.
Neil. It's amazing. So once again, thanks to everybody who's making this possible. Phoenix Talent Schools, our school board, Table Rock Sports, our committee, our turf committee, all the folks. So really appreciate that very much.
So this hour, what's kind of our focus this hour?
This is Hall of Fame and Alumni Hour.
Oh.
This is a Hall of Fame hour. We've got a great Hall of Fame that was started in 2011. 2 former staff members, Deanna and Ron Baker.
I was on that committee.
Neil was part of that. Lots of great folks on that, and did a super job of starting the process of recognizing Phoenix Talent's greatest athletes. And, of course, before the merger of schools back in the 60s, or back in the 50s, Talent had its own high school. A lot of great athletic lore there, and a lot, of course, at Phoenix High School. They merged, and it's gotten better ever since.
For sure. And, you know, that Hall of Fame, those 2 classes we had, and I know you've talked about that. I think next year you said we're going to start the next round.
We're going to start the process. It's going to take us a year probably, but knowing that the field's in and all those different things, it's like we can check this one off the list and move to that. So we're excited to get that process going again. Our last class, 2014, so it's time we do one.
Yeah, I know. And I think we'll get back. We had a little transition, and so I think we'll get back to a regular schedule, which is awesome. And, there's been some great athletes that came through here. We're going to talk to some of them. And, gosh, it's been crazy.
Isn't it something?
We've had some amazing athletes. Before my time, before your time, we had an Olympian that was in I think it was in decathlon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So, I mean, not every school can say, hey, they had an Olympic member come through, and we've had coaches and legendary coaches at our school. I mean, everybody, if you said Phoenix, they went, oh, wrestling, Harry Mondale. I mean, we were at the football game. We went to our athletic director sent us to Milton Freewater, which is almost in Washington,
way out there.
Way
Who
out
was
there.
That?
And, I don't know, but we won the game, and the referee goes, hey, Phoenix, Harry Mondale was there, and and he asked about some of the, and then, Jack Woodward, our stadium is named for him, legendary coach. Ron Williams played for Jack Woodward, took over, won also a state championship here for football.
He did.
And I think you have an interview with him coming up in a little bit.
We do. We've got a great feature with Ron. And speaking of our Hall of Fame, there's, I believe, 63 members of the Hall of Fame. And it's athletes, it's coaches, it's contributors. It's just a really neat thing. I had a great opportunity this summer we didn't have any games in the summer and fall.
Yeah.
So I spent some time. We transferred all of the Hall of Fame information. It's still out there physically, but it's also virtual now too. So it's on our school athletics website at phspirates.org. And it's really neat. It was kind of like meeting some of those people.
Right.
And a chance to see some of those Hall of Famers, like you said, some of the coaches, some of the men and women who went through here as just standout athletes and made great contributions in life. So it's really a proud thing.
Like
for us.
Vince Lockett, firefighter in our district, families in the district. He went here. His kids went here. You know, he played at SUU right before I got there. He was gone by then. So, you know, it's kind of weird how things kind of come together.
They really do. They come full circle. So speaking of full circle again, Ron Williams is a man who went to school here, was a standout athlete, was part of the 1961 and 63 state football championship teams. And that 63 team, I believe, is considered like one of the top 10 teams all time.
I think that's the team that gave up one touchdown.
One touchdown.
And it was from what I've heard from the stories, it was a garbage touchdown.
Ron's going to talk about that in our interview. In our interview. So Coach Williams came in the other day. We did a tour of the school. That was great. Just super to chat with him. He lives in Grants Pass now. He's retired, of course, but still a contributor. He's a contributor to the Phoenix Club, which is donations of $1,000 or more. So we appreciate Coach Williams helping us there. And we're going to roll that video right now and get a chance to meet Ron Williams and look back at Phoenix athletics.
Man, that's going to be awesome to hear from him.
All right, Ron Williams is with us today. He's a 1964 graduate of Phoenix High School, a Hall of Famer in our Athletic Hall of Fame. Ron, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for asking.
So you were part of two historic football teams here, 1961, 63 state champs. Tell us some of the fond memories you have of playing for Coach Woodward and just being part of that program at the time.
Wow, that was some great years. I think, I think from the time I was a freshman to the time I was a senior that we lost three games. You know, we won the rest. And of course, our state championship team in 63, we were undefeated. And matter of fact, we only had one touchdown scored on us all year. And that was a team from Klamath Falls, Sacred Heart, I believe it was. It was a Catholic school. And, we were ahead, I don't know, 45 or 50 to nothing in it. And we had Coach Woodward, I should say. Still got to give the guys some respect. Had the sophomores and stuff in. They were playing, and our defensive halfback let their end get behind him, and they threw about a 50-yard pass for a touchdown. And that was only the fourth game of the season. We didn't think much about it, but, you know, that one touchdown, what if that hadn't happened, you know? A whole season?
Wow.
So we were one away, and I don't think in Oregon any team has ever done that. I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. Jack Woodward told me after I graduated and been gone that he did a little bit of searching, and he found one team in Texas that had a undefeated, unscored on championship. Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
That was fun.
Now, as that season went on, did you think that the pressure, were you guys feeling it, knowing that, okay, people know Phoenix is coming to town and things like that? How was that?
You know, we didn't. That other team just scoring, it didn't seem to make a big deal after the game because you won, and okay, now the next one you're going to, and that was scoreless, and so it wasn't really a big deal that we were focused on winning them all, and you know, winning that state championship. We didn't care if it was 3-2, you know. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
The rest of the school year, you win a state championship like that, it must have been kind of a golden ride toward graduation, and then you get into basketball and track and field. What else do you remember about your senior year?
Oh, a lot about athletics, that's true. The kids, I call them kids now, we were back then, we have a lot of people that still communicate, get together and talk, and we made excellent friends, and that's what a big part of what I learned in high school, or what the rewards of having all the success that we had.
That is a big piece of it, isn't it? What about being a multi-sport athlete? Right now, kids are pulled in so many different directions, and they specialize, and they're told you won't go to college if you play more than one sport. What would you say to that group?
Well, I know why they do it, and I can hear the arguments for it and arguments against it, but my thought is that was one thing that was special for us, is when you had the fall, you had football season, okay? And you hadn't been playing football all summer. You didn't have the passing leagues and all that sort of thing. So when we showed up in August for doubles, we were excited. It's football season. And the same way with basketball, and the same way with track. The seasons were the time that you did it, and after those seasons were over, you didn't do much of anything like that, at least organized, and team-wise. Some of the track, we did have some track, but those were like all-comers track meets.
Sure.
And they weren't just like, those were the opportunity for maybe the more elite track people to go have some competitions against other kids around the state.
Exactly. And then, so you finish high school here, you come back then and had a great coaching career of your own. How was it then coming back to your alma mater to coach?
It was wonderful because I knew a lot of the people here. After growing up and going through school here, grades 1 through 12, you get to know a lot of the people. And then those people, their kids, and then their kids had kids. So when I was talking about somebody, there's a good 50 to 75% chance that I had some connection there someplace, Thankfully, a lot of it was good, but, some wasn't, But, I really liked it. I had a lot of support because you don't have that kind of success without having support, having some good people in your program. Harry Mondale, legend here, great line coach. I don't think any place that I played football, there was a better line coach than Harry Mondale. And then my old coach, Jack Woodward, I learned a lot from him, and he came back and helped me the first few years that I was coaching, getting me lined out and kicking me in the butt once in a while. And so I was really blessed, let's put it that way.
Oh, that's great.
Having all the good things in line, to be successful.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Now, a big push of what we're talking about here is the effort to put in an all-weather surface. And I'm sure over the years playing and coaching, you came up some pretty muddy nights, Friday nights when you're either playing here or on the road. Any of those ever stick out? Any certain games?
Oh, yes. It would, there were some bad, like you say, you just played in the mud. Of course, we used to try to use that as a motivator for our kids to say, we want you guys, to act like you're having fun out there. And they didn't have to act very much. We went up to Sutherland one year when I was playing coaching, and it had been raining all week. And we went out on that football field, and it was still raining before we dressed down to walk around, and it was so wet. You could look down in between the grass, and there were just all kinds of worms, night crawlers. They're just all over.
Oh, boy.
And so you were playing not only in the mud, but you're playing the night crawler.
Oh, my gosh.
And so before we went out, I was noticing that they went out first, and they were doing exercises, the other team. And they weren't going to get muddy. They did jumping jacks, and they did anything that they wouldn't get down in the mud, to do. And I said, okay, we're going to go out a little different, and we're going to run onto that field, and then when you get out on that field, I want to spread eagle, and just slide in that mud, right? Right towards them. We did that, and I think it made kids loved it. You couldn't have read any kind of numbers on the jerseys, when that game started. And so I don't know if it helped us to win, but it
definitely left an impression.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Ron, what about just the value of high school sports and activities? I mean, that's something that we constantly tell how kids do better when they're academically, when they're athletics, and just building those relationships. What would you say about that?
Oh, I think so many times a lot of the kids that we have going through schools, they get half the education.
Yep.
They really do. Great. And Phoenix has always been good. A lot of good reports on what they're doing, awards nationally. And so they're getting that. That's for darn sure. But this is another half here. And it is so much more important, I think, than a lot of people realize, because you're making life decisions with different people and having friends forever that you might not have hadn't it been for athletics. And I think it also teaches people how to interact and get along with people that they would never meet.
Great point. How about in the wake of the Almeda fires? Obviously, that was that and COVID, some definite hurdles for the district. How have you been moving forward with that, and what did you think when you drive into your former community here and see this?
That was when I drove through after the fire just to see, and you think about how terrible it is. I even don't know where to start on some of that, because you look over here and that's where the Joneses lived. My gosh, this is where somebody else lived. And when you hear that 50% of the kids that go to Phoenix didn't have a home. Yeah. 50%. I know that a lot of people and they should be worried about how are we going to get them their geometry? How are we going to teach them any kind of physics? And that is a real problem. But number one, how are we going to get them all in a home first? That's our part. That's what we need to focus on. And obviously, they've done a great job in doing that. Yeah. And that strong knit of this school is what got them through a lot of those tough times.
It's definitely a huge piece. It really is. It really is. Well, Coach, we are absolutely honored to have you joined us. We appreciate it very much in this effort to help us put this all-weather playing surface in. So
yes, again. And we need this. I still say we, but I'm still part. And I think the kids are not just in football, but the soccer program, the band, everybody that uses that, even PE classes, they have a decent place then to play and compete,
Exactly.
And won't get muddy.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, we're so looking forward to that. So, Ron, thank you again for your time. That's Hall of Famer Ron Williams, part of our PTS Rising Field event. Again, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we are back. Phoenix Talent Rising Turfathon. Just really fired up. There's a great interview with Ron Williams. It's alumni hour right now. It's alumni power hour, we're calling it. And there's no more power in this district bigger than our man, Phoenix Talent Booster Club president, district parent, alumni, just a true Phoenix person at heart. And that's Nathan Humphreys. Nathan, thanks for being with us.
It's great to be here.
Well, we appreciate it very much, and all that you and your family and our booster club. It's just amazing. In the 3+ years that I've been here, you guys have been so supportive and amazing to work with. Just tell us a little bit, right now, obviously COVID time is challenging because we're just not having events right now, but where are things at with the Booster Club?
Like you said, it's been tough. Most of our money is generated from doing concession stand sales and some other stuff we had planned for the year. But of course, when you're not having games, you don't have money coming in. So we're doing okay. We're trying to help out where we can. We donated $1,000 to the Phoenix Fire Fund, trying to get some sports equipment out to the expo. So we're trying to help out where we can.
Well, it's been absolutely amazing. And just the challenge of getting kids back into school right now. That's the bottom line for all of us. You've got a high school senior. Her end of her junior year got basically postponed and stuff like that. So just give us a parent's perspective right now, what you're seeing.
It's tough. I have a daughter who very much likes to go to school, and it has a lot more to do with the challenge of learning for her. And she likes to play sports too. So being disconnected like this, it's always been tough, I think, since the beginning. This year's been a little bit better, so we're hoping to move forward with getting back into school possibly, but excited too, just to get ready to move her to the next step. So
we really are, but we want to get Haley back in here and her friends. We've got a beautiful new school. The other night the Booster Club was in. It was amazing. We're doing some cleaning out right now, getting ready to remodel what's going to remain of the school, the theater, the concession stand, the gyms, locker rooms, and things like that. Afterwards, we took a tour. Just give some impressions of the new school, Nathan.
It's amazing. I was very surprised. I mean, from the outside it looks beautiful, but from the inside, it is a step above and beyond. From walking through it, the culinary department, also the welding shop and the auto shop. If I had that auto shop when I was in school, I probably would have passed.
You said that the other night.
I probably would have passed my auto class on that one. I didn't do so well. So, but no, I mean, it is top notch, and it is pretty unbelievable. I would hope that anybody that can to come through and take a look at that before it's too late.
Well, it won't be long till we're back in there. If things go well, we'll be back with hybrid learning when the kids will be back at least on a part-time basis in February. That's our goal right now. Just got to get this COVID thing under control. Fires, September, that was just a horrible week. The community's starting to bounce back, but as a resident here, what are you seeing?
A lot of progress. I mean, honestly, there was a lot of devastation that night. We actually, when we evacuated, we had to drive through downtown Phoenix to get to the freeway. So it's one of those things that's seared in your mind that I'll probably never be able to forget. But looking, going through and seeing the places that are getting cleaned up and the people already putting up, sticks in the house and stuff, I'm excited for what this actually has, the future for Phoenix at this point.
Well, we feel part of that future is the installation of the all-weather surface, just to kind of start the rebuilding, signify that, and give the community a great place to play. So what's your perspective on that?
Being a parent of an athlete, it's always kind of sad when you go to some of the other schools in our district and you get to see their nice new playing surfaces. I played on this field from 91 to 95, and I've known forever that north corner down there is basically a beaver marsh towards the end of the season. Yep. So the ability that would give us, and just kind of the refreshness, I guess, that would give us, I think would be something that would be very beneficial.
Well, we're looking forward to that. And it looks like you've got a couple checks for us tonight, Nathan. What's going on here? Those are big checks, Nathan.
Yeah. Got some checks here. This first one here, this is from the PHS Sports Boosters, $1,000 that we're going to donate tonight. So
wow. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And then also some of the guys at work got together, and this is where I work. We are on the emergency response team. I'm the team leader. And we come to the high school twice a year and do some presentations for classes. Yeah. And we got together and decided that it was something we would like to get involved into. So here's another $1,000 check for that.
Nathan, thank you so much. That's just amazing. Once again, our Booster Club and Lindy, we really appreciate all of you folks, everybody donating tonight. So thank you again. That's Nathan Humphreys, Phoenix High School Sports Boosters. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back. Neil Carvalho here, and I have another Pirate talking about our Alumni Hour. This is from the class of 1990, which, wow, that's a while ago. This is Brent Watts. Brent, thank you so much for coming in here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here and support such a great cause.
So, Brent, you know, you and I have known each other for a long time. I think my first year here, you were student teaching with Joe Hagler, and then we coached baseball together. Then you coached softball at Phoenix. You're a referee for several big-time conferences now. Your kids go here. You went here. Your wife went here. Tell us, what's it like to be a Pirate?
I think it comes back to just the community and the support that, you know, all kids have, whether it be sports, whether it be other activities, clubs, the classroom, and it's just a overall feeling, even when you drive back into town, that, you know, you're home, and it's that good feeling, and you feel welcome.
And what was it like, you growing up in this community, when the fires came in? What did you notice, and how did it affect you?
I think it was the biggest thing was, you know, worrying about people, safety, you know, and obviously we didn't know how our house would survive or not when it first started, because, you know, the uncertainty of it. But when we figured out we were kind of safe, we totally, you know, we're thinking about the people that are going to go through so much, not only that day, but in the months, years to come.
Yeah, I mean, totally stuff. Now, I know you're a humble guy. You were one of the greatest athletes in Phoenix High School. I confidently can say that I believe you're going to be in the Hall of Fame for the Pirates very soon. You know, you played soccer, I believe. You were first team All-State. Baseball, I believe you were the same. You played baseball at Oregon State. You played AAA baseball, and all levels. What was it like going to a smaller school and having still that type of success? Because we always hear kids say that they hear, I have to go to a bigger school to get noticed, and you're proving fact that that's not true. You know, how was that for you? And, you know, what do you tell to those kids who think they have to go to a bigger school?
Well, I think it's just a matter of the determination and the willingness to try something and get out of the valley. And I think that was the biggest thing, is like, you know, when I was going, I knew a community college, you know, big time colleges aren't going to come here unless you're, you know, a rare individual like Kyle Singler or, you know, most recently Chase Cota and guys like that. But for the most part, there's always a place to play if you have the work ethic, if you decide that, you know, it's something that you feel within, I think. So, you know, coming out of high school, I had more offers for soccer, but I knew deep down that baseball was something I wanted to pursue. And so I went to a junior college first in Salem called Chemeketa, and then was fortunate enough to go over to Oregon State and play there. You know, won a Pac-12 North championship and just met a lot of people. And just getting out of the valley was a huge deal. And then, you know, luckily enough, how things rolled up, I was able to, you know, play some minor league baseball. But then I knew that I wanted to, you know, get in the education field. I wanted to come back, and my first coaching job was back at Phoenix, and because I just wanted to give back. It wasn't about, you know, coaches don't make a lot of money, but it wasn't about that. It was more about showing these kids the right way and eliminating bad habits, and then hopefully giving them the opportunity, if they really want to pursue things after high school. And sometimes it's not for everybody, and those are the conversations that I think coaches have with athletes that will, you know, kind of like, they'll know if they really want to pursue that or not, right, with how they grow up.
Yeah, and both your oldest two sons right now are playing college sports, so and they both went to Phoenix, so it's Phoenix is a springboard for there. Your youngest son, Ryan, now is, you know, playing football for me and does other sports. What do you think this, as the snow is coming down, what do you think about the new field coming in, of how it's going to tie in with our awesome new track and our awesome new school and the whole rebuild of our community?
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about this topic, and I thought to myself, it's not just a football stadium. It's a activities facility that will benefit so many things year round. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you look past football, which is going to be, you know, one of the sports playing there, to soccer, and then band and dance, and then ultimately, you know, having those the facilities to promote other activities within, like, a variety of youth sports, to functions for the community that don't have anything to do with athletics, but using the facility to, as where you don't have to go out and find other places to do this. And I think it's just a great community building situation that is going to promote, the future for things to keep it local in our town.
Yeah, I mean, graduation is going to be here. It's going to be awesome. You get to experience that with your son coming up in a few years, and, that's going to be a great thing. So, any last words you want to say about, just everything in general, what's going on, being yourself an educator for 22 years, I believe, what's it just like, how would you say you're persevering?
Well, I just think that it's a matter of with the new school and how it's going to coincide with just more like a grand opening whenever students get back here and we're full time. It's just a great thing where we can have that opportunity. And I know there's some state playoff implications where sometimes you always have to go out and search for a turf field, through OSAA when you get to the later rounds. But beyond that, I think it's more about, hey, we're treating all these, I would say, activities really at a high level, and it's just a great opportunity for the community. It's a great opportunity for the high school. And it's just so exciting to see that it's they're stepping up and getting things done.
Yeah, and last thing I ask you is, we're talking about this as Alumni Hour. Our soccer coach, Chris Gallegos, one of my good friends, that's one of your good friends. What do you say about the whole alumni of Phoenix High School as far as how are they interconnected, especially like with help and just being supportive of the schools itself?
Well, I think just like, any school, I mean, as you go through the years, there's pockets of who you hang out with. But in general, I think it's they're supporting, that's community building. And no matter what grade you were at or where you fell within your own grade, there's just mutual respect. And it's like, okay, you're a graduate of Phoenix, you're always welcome back, and we accept people, for who they are. There's always things that we want to work on, but in general, it's kind of like you're an alumni, and it's like instant respect.
Great. Well, hey, again, Brent Watts here, former Phoenix graduate, former coach. By the way, I forgot to kind of mention this. He's come back and is coaching again with Phoenix High Baseball. So, Brent, it's kind of, Brent, we always say this, once a Pirate, always a Pirate. You're back for good. Glad you're with us, and thank you so much for coming in today.
I appreciate it. Good luck with the fundraiser.
Yep, thank you so much. And we'll go back to Dave Earhart and actually to Chris.
There's a time machine not so far away that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
And we're back. It's again Phoenix Talent Rising Fieldturf-a-thon. We're excited about this, and things continue to go well, Neil, don't they?
Great interview with Nathan Humphreys and Brent Watts, and it's still kind of snowing outside.
It is. It is. One thing we need to do is get those phones ringing again. Our operators it's a little slow over there right now. So let's get those phones ringing again and get some more donations in.
Yeah,
Neil,
no kidding. We need to kind of get that going.
It is. But it's been amazing.
It has been. And I hope people know that this is just the money we've raised tonight, not what we had already for the whole thing.
Exactly. So this is just another piece of the puzzle. Like we said, this is going to extend for a little bit yet. It's going to take us some more time to raise all this money. We know it's going to be a few more weeks, maybe a month, but we're committed to get this field started as soon as possible and have it in as soon as we possibly can. You know, we've got a list here of folks who have donated, and it's just amazing. So let's just run down that list. And big thanks to all these folks. Lisa Mandel, that's a district parent. Steve Buck. Rogue Hair Design, our Joe Hubbard, Andrea Goff, so that's part of the Goff family. Marlene Sharkey, that's my cousin back in Wisconsin.
Oh, nice.
Cody Lindsay, our wrestling coach. Ronnie Goff. There's another member of the Goff family, Sherry Bodermans. There's
former Phoenix Pirates.
Her kids
parent.
went through. Karen Talley, that's one of our teachers. Wendy Mayer, Pat and Ray Gibson. The Bolstads donated. Ron Williams and his wife donated. Kathleen Sherrar, Brian McKinnis, teacher at Talent. Dave Williams, Nancy McKinnis. Randy Waite is one of our guys here at the high school. Johnny and Hunter Croy. Hunter was in before.
Yep.
Preachers Barbecue. That's Bob Stapp, our assistant or JV baseball coach, works in our district maintenance, and most importantly, does some amazing barbecue.
Oh, my gosh. Have you had his barbecue?
Oh, I've had his barbecue. And it's some good stuff. So, Preacher Bob, thank you very much. Scott Rucker, Chris Walker, Phoenix graduate.
Yep. And her son played baseball here.
Part of the county government. Jane Dow.
Former teacher.
Really?
English teacher.
There we go. Carol Richards. Sean Grunwald. Sean is one of our assistant cross-country coaches. Brendan Hurd.
Former student and a football player for us.
There you go. Landra Ruvalcaba. There's another grad. So our alumni are really stepping it up right now, and our district staff. And our parents. Jennifer Corona.
She was our former college corner, one of the college people, and she's Alondra's sister.
See? Listen to C Money. He is connected. Matt Price. Macy Thompson, there's an alum. Andrea James, an alumni.
Yeah.
Now her kids are going to school here. So again, so many people are supporting this, and we just want to continue to do that.
Our former band teacher had called earlier and donated, Mike Raitt. So that's awesome.
I mean, it's just amazing. So, I mean, this was only a partial list. And again, there's still lots of time to donate. We've got those numbers, Neil. Can you share those with us again?
Yeah. So your numbers again, if you want to call in, 541-973-1521 or 541-531-6822. Call, make a pledge with your credit card. You can mail in a check to PT Rising Field, P.O. Box 697, and that's in Phoenix, Oregon, 97535. Also, electronically, getmeregistered.com/PT Rising Field. Real simple. It's on the broadcast. Remember, this broadcast will be archived. So, hey, pass the word on for all of you watching. Hey, go and check it out on TableRockSports.net. Click the little Phoenix Pirate icon. Look for this broadcast. Have people watch it. Let's get, you can pass the word on that way. Help us achieve our goal of, getting all this fundraising done. So, as we said, you don't have to do it today. As far as getting all donations, it'll keep going, but you can actually pass this on. People can watch this archived. It'll also be on YouTube channel, I believe. And, more people can donate. The phones will still be working. It'll go to our grad coaches, but they know the deal. You can always call the school to make that pledge to with the credit card. So this is not anyways done today. We're still rolling.
Good. Continue to push on. Speaking of rolling, like we said, it's Alumni Power Hour right now. Talking to our alums, we're talking about Hall of Fame. One of our alums came through and did a really nice job athletically as a football player, baseball player for us, Chase Courtney. You want to tell us more about him?
So Chase, came in as a transfer. He came in his sophomore year, left the district a little bit to our north, and he really enjoyed his time here. Baseball player. He also played hockey, Dave.
He did play hockey.
And we ended up winning the tied for the league championship football that 2017 year. He graduated 2018. He was in my class. He was my Virtual Enterprise CEO, head of the class.
Oh, of Carvalho Inc.
Yep. So, he kind of works with his parents at times with their CNC constructors. That's something. Mark and Joe, hope you're out there watching, and thanks for bringing us Chase here. And so, it's going to be a great interview. I really enjoyed talking to him. He was super excited about being a Pirate, and that interview is going to come up. It was a great interview. All right, so here we So here at Chase Courtney. Chase was a Phoenix Pirate. Chase, what year did you graduate, and when did you get to Phoenix? I know you didn't come. I believe it was your sophomore year, maybe?
Yeah, I transferred out of, I went to North, so I transferred out my sophomore year here, so I completed my sophomore year, junior, senior year, graduated at 18.
Okay. Yeah. So being a new student to, the Phoenix School District, I know you had known some people and stuff, and what was it like, coming from a bigger school to a school like Phoenix?
It was something I guess I didn't really expect. I hadn't really thought about Phoenix too much before I got over here. Like, over here is like a family. When I was at North, I had all my friends that I'd been growing up with, and when I got here, I met a whole bunch of just new amazing people, families. I remember coming into the football games, they had a lot of the moms would come in and put dinners together and
right.
barbecues. And it was cool because you come in here and all the teachers really cared about each player or each student and each coach the same way. It's like, we weren't just a statistic at that point.
Right. So, yeah, because I know I've been here a long time, and, we always kind of promote the family atmosphere.
Yeah.
So do you agree that that's kind of what Phoenix is?
100%, yeah. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of people that come in and out of those doors each day, but it's definitely, you get to know at least each smile on each face.
Right. And so, you and I have kept in touch.
Yeah.
And do you still keep in touch with some other teachers or coaches or classmates?
Oh, yeah. I got, obviously, my people that, I graduated with here. We kick it, at least once a week, we
Okay.
get around on the links or something.
Yeah, even with the quarantine, everything's good, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, distance for sure.
So, you got to play on our field. It's okay, but it's not great. And now, with the fires and everything, this new field that we're planning is, planning to hopefully be like a beacon. You've got a little preview of the new school. And, what do you think this field with the whole school will mean to our community?
Phoenix is it can be a powerhouse with sports. The teachers are amazing. And to have something to be super prideful in, all the way down to, like the homecoming parade, we'd have the whole city would kind of come together. We'd phone down the streets and we'd come back here, and it's nice to have the field we have.
Wasn't that one of the coolest things, that parade?
Oh, yeah. Again, it comes back to the family thing. So, having the whole environment, the whole community, especially if you can tie that in with a field. I got lucky enough I got to go experience a little bit of some higher level football after leaving Phoenix and coming into a good field,
So what was that like? I know you went, you kind of started at SOU, and then you were given the opportunity to go to Boise State on the Smurf turf, and so kind of tell what, SOU has a pretty good field. What was it like to, what's the benefits you see of having a nice turf field?
Well, first off, wintertime, you go out there, you can use the field year round, you're never worried about mud or anything like that, and the feeling of just having that niceness about you, it's like prideful, so when people show up to your house, it's like being a little kid, your mom cleans up the house for you, right? Or she makes you clean the house up for you. People are because it wants to be nice. So same thing when people come in. It was intimidating for us when we'd go see a turf field when we were playing here. You get off the bus and you see just, oh wow, these guys have something going over here.
Did that just kind of when we went to a couple fields that had turf? I think we still beat them, but did it kind of look like? Is that how you kind of felt? Like, wow, that's something special that you think other people feel the same way?
Oh yeah, and I know. Football is a different sport than a lot of other ones, but I know when we were on the bus, we'd always talk about where we were going to play, or there's a lot of it was their uniforms, which we got, those are locked down, right? Those are legit, and then the field and the stands and all that. When you come into a house and you have that nice turf field, it's like a different feeling, and to have it here in our own back door would be something pretty special, I think.
And based on the fires and everything, we're putting this out to the community. Do you think because of the pride of the community, even like Medford, Eagle Point, Crater, you think like people from there would even still be kind of wanting to contribute to Phoenix just because of everything that's happened with the devastation of our community?
It's bad to say, but Phoenix, this is my home, right? This is where I graduated from, and I hadn't even really come over here to acknowledge the damages as much as I wish I would have. And coming in today to the school and seeing how close it burnt up and the devastation around it, it's obviously you see it out on the news. You can see it from anywhere in the valley, really. It was a bad deal, but I think that everyone, we have some rivalries in the valley, but I think that everyone across the valley, we're all still the same community, and we're all Southern Oregon. So I think they would definitely reach out and love to contribute to help bring this place back up, bring it up from the ashes.
Yeah, it's devastating. So, I think, like you said, when community people come back and look at it, I know you told me that, hey, you're going to be around this year and in the future to games, and when you said, hey, it's fun now, we can play soccer here and playoff games and band competitions. You said you plan to kind of make yourself available and around just as being a supporter, and you think the rest of the community will see this area as a whole beacon with the whole new school and everything? Will this be pride for the community? You think just the whole thing, the school, the buildings, the field, will that be like pride?
Oh yeah, I mean it comes all the way down to the core of it, right down to the heart, and having that field back there attached to the beautiful new school, which I gotta say is incredible. You know, it's going to be something really special around here. And my fiance, she is a Klamath Hoe.
Oh.
I know the whole family, and Mazama too. So I know that, you know, they even acknowledge, say, oh wow, Phoenix is really stepping up their game now, you know, and so.
You might have to convert her a little bit to a Pirate.
Yeah, exactly. It's through the blood now.
Well, Chase, you know, thanks so much for coming in. You know, your parents have been big supporters from when you played football and baseball, and you know, that's something we, you know, like you said, it's community. And, you know, again, thanks to you, your family, what you've done and brought to Phoenix, and for being here. And, you know, thank you so much for coming in. And any last words you want to say?
No, I mean, I got nothing else to say except for let's get this field done so we can come out here and enjoy a little bit of some football.
Yeah, right, man. Some Pirate pride, right?
Absolutely.
All right, thanks so much, Chase. Again, Chase Courtney, class of 2018.
Yeah.
He was an all-league performer for football and baseball too, or baseball,
yeah,
and
I got lucky a couple times.
Yeah, Chase. I mean, great career here at Phoenix, and you know, as it's always known, Chase came from a different school. He wasn't brought up, but he and I get along. We talk, and he's told me, and Chase,
right,
once a Pirate, always a Pirate, right?
Always, absolutely.
All right, man, Chase. Thanks for coming in.
See you.
All right, we are back here wrapping up the third hour of the PT Rising Field.
It's flying by.
It is, Neil. This is absolutely great. Thank you again. We want to give some shout-outs here right now. We had a nice donation from our friends Michael and Carolina Campbell.
Yes.
Carolina's a great teacher here for us. Michael's a incredible school board member, recently joined the board a couple months ago, and has just made a huge impact. So
yeah, awesome.
Appreciate them
great
very
family.
much.
Love
and they
that
helped
family.
us tremendously in the promotion of this event through their work with Siskiyou Cellular, 7 different locations around the Rogue Valley, and they donated a ton of airtime, radio airtime for us.
And you know, I think their commercials, I think that's Michael talking. A lot of them.
I bet it is. Michael's got some background. If anybody who's broadcast a game in the Rogue Valley has probably done one with Michael Campbell at some point, it sounds like.
And have you ever heard him in concert? He's a great musician. Got to listen to that guy. He's in some conferences.
Definitely. So once again, big shout out to the Campbells. We appreciate you guys very much. Another business partner of ours that helped us promoting this. Anybody, again, who's donated $100 or more to the PT Rising Field effort is eligible to win a $1,000 gift card. That's our grand prize in our drawing from Garrison's Home. So that's great.
That's cool.
Very cool.
When is that drawing happening?
That drawing will be, we still got to set a date, but most likely about mid-January or so, I think, as we continue pushing and get this
that's a good idea.
effort finished up. So we really appreciate our friends at Garrison's Home. So once again, thank you to everybody who's donating tonight. Still lots of chances. Those numbers are up on the screen, but remember, right now, call. We've got our phone bank open. Yep. We're taking those. We can take a credit card. Make a pledge tonight. Give to PT Rising Field, right, Neil?
Yeah, it's a great thing. And remember, nothing's too small. $3, $5. Nothing's too large. $50,000.
There we go. Neil thinks big. Add those
That's
zeros, right?
Add the zeros, man. You know, zeros like a hero.
You got it. And speaking of zeros, we're getting near that $50,000 mark right now for the night. So we're really proud of that. We've got an hour to go. We want to finish strong. That is our goal, to really finish strong here. So we're going to go to commercial break. Or actually, instead of commercial break, we're going to roll to another feature, Neil, that you did.
Oh, that's
with
right.
The Phoenix.
Yes.
We're going to finish up, instead of commercial, we're going to finish up
the
alumni
area.
Power Hour. So, Neil, you want to introduce this one?
Yeah, so we talked to a great family, two people, Jim and Brady Breeze. So if those names sound familiar, Brady Breeze, Oregon Duck, MVP of the Rose Bowl as the defensive MVP. You know, he had a great season for senior year. He's now in training in Arizona for the NFL draft. And his dad, Jim Breeze, former Phoenix Pirate, he was a member of the last football state championship team, the 1985 team. Jim graduated in 86. I played football with Jim at SOU. He was a safety for us, and Jim went on, played Arizona State for a year or two, got injured, came back, finished up at SOU. So great family guy. Had a great talk with him. Dave, you and I were a little jealous because they were
in the Arizona sun.
They were in the Arizona sun, and you and I were in the Phoenix fog. But Jim and Brady both had time. Brady came down during the fires and helped distribute stuff. You got to talk to him.
I did get a chance to meet Brady and had a nice chat with him.
And so, Jim is kind of jumping on board. He's one of our point guys as far as trying to find out some, other donors and rounding up some people. So, it was a great way to connect. And again, it's kind of like that pirate family. You may move, you maybe do different things, but, it's always true. Once a pirate, always a pirate.
You got it.
So it was a pretty cool interview, and I had never gotten to, technically meet Brady before. I saw him doing Oregon walkthroughs and during the games, but what a great kid he is, or young man, I should say.
He
and
is.
His dad is a great guy. He and I are pretty good friends, and this was a good interview, and it's going to be fun. I hope everybody enjoys it, and so we'll turn it to Chris to get that interview, and we'll be back in a little bit. So, hey, guys, thanks so much for coming in and being on Zoom and meeting with us about this whole thing. So, we have Brady Breeze, former Oregon Duck, and Jim Breeze, former Phoenix Pirate, and Arizona State Sun Devil, Southern Oregon Raider. Guys, welcome so much. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so, we just kind of wanted to talk about a couple of things. I guess, Jim, I'll let you go first since you're the elder there and stuff. So, Jim, you and I played back in the day together. What was it like, finishing up your high school career at Phoenix, and what kind of memories did you have related to being a Pirate?
Well, I had great memories. Some of my best memories and still some of my great friends came from that time. Some of the best memories that I created was actually with some of my coaches, Ron Williams, being our head coach, and still have contact with him, and just every time I get together with him, he's just an amazing person, amazing coach. And then Harry Mondale was basically like almost an uncle to me. Even growing up there, my dad taught high school for 20 years at Phoenix High School, and then went on to be a financial planner after that. But developed a lot of relationships, and one of them was with Harry. And as growing up, Harry taking me fishing on the Rogue River, and since I was like probably 8-9 years old, and then all throughout even college and high school, college, and even into before he passed away. We went fishing like a year before he passed away. So one of my best friends, one of my best coaches. So a lot of great memories from those players. Some names that come up is Bobby Carpenter. He's a sheriff detective out of Douglas County now. Mark Peterson, who's now retired in Ohio. Just some amazing players. Jim Brown, I think he's a dentist now. A lot of people that went on to be very successful, and obviously that's the last time that Phoenix won a state championship. So some great memories that come from that team, and a lot of great games,
right,
that type of stuff. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, Jim was a member of the 1985 team that won the state title. Brady, you kind of grew up in Phoenix area, and then you went to Medford, then went up north. And then you saw, and you came back to kind of help out when after those devastating fires. What was your reaction when you came back and kind of saw what kind of happened and the kind of outpouring of support from the community? Is that something you expected, or you kind of knew that the Phoenix talent community was kind of a close community that way?
Yeah, so when I came down, we ended up just driving through. And, it was pretty emotional for me seeing, all those houses and stuff just completely burned down to the ground, all those businesses and, all these, buildings that people have spent, their livelihoods, trying to get going, all these really small businesses. So, obviously that was super sad to see. But, what was really cool to see as well was, the community coming together and, being able to be at Orchard Hill and seeing all those people with smiles on their faces, looking to the positive side of things, regardless of how bad their situation was. They're still happy whether they had like I had one person saying, at least I have, my high school yearbook, I have this and that. So they were still like looking at positive. So, that kind of, made me feel better just about the community. And it shows, how people, no matter how bad something happens, they still can look to the positives and come together as a community and, come together and be a great place. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and and we heard that from different community members and people who said things like that. How exciting it was. Just hey, we had some things, and then people were really supportive. Like the help came out from you coming down and stuff, to help out. And Brady, your career at Oregon ended. You're a great role model for Southern Oregon, and you did go through some adversity at Oregon from when from redshirting your freshman year to being defensive MVP of the Rose Bowl. What kind of things did you do to persevere, and how did you see that tying into what the community is going through down here?
What really helped me is just, trying to go to Bible studies and going to church and stuff, and just, trying to stay faithful and, kind of doing the same things that the community did. I went down to visit them, just staying positive. I would just try to remind myself, no matter how much playing time I was getting or wasn't getting, just trying to be thankful of, the situation I was in, how good of an opportunity I had to get, free college and a free education, and to be able to play for a team, that I wanted to play for my whole life, and then, being able to stay positive like that and persevere through, some of the tough times, I was able to come out on top, and I feel like the community is going to be able to do the same, looking at the positives, just keep on fighting and, rebuild. And then next thing you know, the city of Phoenix would be, a great community, once again, and be a really popular city that people will come to once again. So. Yeah, and that's a great ideas, and great how you overcame some of that. Trying times and stuff. And then for both of you guys, we have that new school, and Jim, I think you might have seen it passing by, and then, about, trying to get this field going. How do you think we'll tie in with the new school, a nice field, and the rebuilding of the community is making this area kind of like a beacon for the community pride and support? Jim and Brady, how do you think, how that will tie in, of how people will feel some pride about that?
I think it's a huge part of bringing the community together because of this thing of COVID and not being able to play sports and not be able to get outside, and then the opportunity when people are able to get back out and practicing, and the ability to not have a muddy field versus the weather, obviously. Sometimes in Southern Oregon, especially during the winter, is the rough time. And it doesn't, lead itself to being, able to play soccer, sports, football, whatever sport you're trying to do outdoors, where they can use that. And even as a playground, just to be able to use it, walk around the track, and have a nice place to go to with all the devastation with the fires. And it's impacted me in a lot of different ways, even through my business. 9 people that lost their homes that I personally know and are good friends of mine, and then some other businesses like Kaler Electric and DSA, Harley Davidson, know them, and it's just so to see those people go through that, and basically the small families. I have some Hispanic families that actually manage but they basically, some of them had to just move to Nevada, right, because of their homes. They can't even come to a home, so. And there's not a lot of work going on there right now. So to have that opportunity to make that field, kind of lead the way with the high school, it brings a lot of pride back. And to have the field not be finished and not be, really kind of pride of the community where they could use it. Right. I think it would add a lot of value. Awesome. To the situation.
Well, thanks so much, guys, for coming in. Brady, best of luck to your career. I hope you get drafted by the Rams. That's my favorite team, so that'll make me super happy, because I really don't want to have to cheer for you if you're with the 49ers or Seahawks or somebody, so please be with the Rams. Guys, thanks so much for coming in. Jim Breeze again, former Pirate. Brady Breeze, Oregon Duck, future pro. Guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming in and helping out with the Phoenix Talent Rising Field.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.
And we are back. It's the 4th hour Phoenix Talent Rising Field Turfathon. Dave Earhart, Neil Carvalho coming to you live from the Phoenix High School weight room. Neil, this is flying by, isn't it?
It is. Hour number 4. We're trying to push through to that first $50,000, and we're getting there. I'm confident we're going to get in this hour for sure, and hopefully move on. But yeah, it's been a great time here.
those phone banks are open. We've got 2 members of our school board. It's amazing how people pitch in, just the different people. We talked about Michael and Carolina Campbell before. Michael from our school board. We've got Sarah Crawford, Dawn Watson from our school board as well. They're taking phone calls right now. If you want to make a donation to PT Rising Field, those numbers are up on the screen. You can do that. Give them a call. We've got the phones up and going. They'll be going for a long time in terms of you can call those phones next week. Next month, we'll connect you with a donation. Of course, you can go to getmeregistered.com, search out Phoenix or PT Rising Field, and it takes you right to the donation site. So lots of ways to do it.
Mail a check, too.
You can mail a check to P.O. Box
697, Phoenix, Oregon, 97535. Make it out to PT Rising Field. By the way, PT, that means Phoenix Talent.
Phoenix Talent. Phoenix Talent truly rising from the ashes. So again, the Alameda Fires is why we're here. We want to provide an all-weather playing surface for our communities to continue to grow and start that recovery in the wake of those devastating fires.
Yeah.
So with that, we've got a lot of great features to finish up here. And the theme of this final hour is just the multi-purpose use of the field.
Yeah, I think people don't always realize that what else it can be used for.
This is not just a football field. It's not just a soccer field. So many different things. We're going to talk about marching band a little more. We've got our unified sports. We've got middle school sports. We're going to hear from all those different groups in the next hour to finish up our Turfathon tonight.
Great.
So,
looking forward to that.
Let's start off. We've got a great feature. Our marching band. Again, Mike DeRost, incredible director of the marching band. He's joined by Scott Morrison in this interview. Scott is our drumline person or percussion person. And anybody who's seen the Pride of the Phoenix perform every year, just they do an amazing job. And that's something we're truly missing, too, during this COVID shutdown. Can't wait till our band group is back on the field. But again, that all-weather surface is going to provide an opportunity for band to be on the field a lot more often. Right?
Yeah, and, you don't realize that when your band practices a lot, and to practice, when you're on the field, you're kind of walking, you're going in a straight line and your patterns. Well, on a grass field, when it's a little wet, or even when it's not wet, it kind of tamps down, and all of a sudden, that part gets worn, it gets a little dip, and then when it rains, it starts to fill in there. So all those little things add to it, and so this is another reason that this all-purpose field is going to be amazing.
That's exactly. And I apologize. A couple times tonight I forgot my mask, but we got it back up, and this is a nice mask from our baseball team.
I know, and our football players were like, Coach, how come we don't get those? I'm like, well, we're working on things. That is nice. Coach Hutchinson lives by me. I'm going to have to go get one of those.
Yes.
Because that's pretty cool. A little Gator style.
Hutch hooked us up. So once again, so many groups that can benefit from this. Let's start by hearing from our band. All right, we're here with Scott Morrison and Mike DeRost, both from our amazing PHS band program, marching band program, color guard program, all the good things. And guys, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. And just want to talk a little bit about the state of things with our Pirate Marching Band right now, where things are at. Kind of this is a lost year a little bit with COVID and everything and the fires, and just how we keep this thing going.
Sure, I'll go ahead and start. The kids right now, with COVID and the fires and everything else, I've had so many kids that have come to me and say they just miss the marching band experience. Getting together with their friends, working on this musical project that we do every fall, and they're really missing out on that this year. And so actually today, one of my tuba players, I was talking with him and he was just saying how much he can't wait for the fall again for marching band. I think with the online learning, it's been really challenging for kids. It's band in a whole new way, and for a lot of kids, it's not the same. And so they're really struggling with not being able to hear their friends, not being able to be a part of the sound of the whole band as they're in their homes and just playing by themselves.
Exactly. Scott, how about you from a percussion standpoint, working with the drum kids and things like that? What have you seen in the connections you've had with them?
I would definitely say we feel there's definitely a disconnect of just not being able to be around each other. It's more than just learning a musical instrument. So it's about the friendship, the camaraderie between each other, and the family of it.
Exactly. And I know those trips that we typically take every fall to compete around the state and down in California, that's a huge piece, isn't it? Not being able to do that is tough.
Absolutely. Those are some of our things that the kids do year after year. Our trip over to Brookings for the Azalea Parade in the spring, and doing kind of our honoring of our seniors as they graduate. That was something that those kids didn't get this last year. Our trip to Napa and doing competitions with, a lot of these kids have really built friends in all those bands that we compete with, and they've really missed out on that too.
And typically, early August, we're in with band camp, getting ready, and to see how a group improves and grows together during the year, that's got to be something we're missing huge too, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's hard for the kids to really gauge their improvement as we're doing online learning. They kind of have to, take it for granted that they're getting better, and when they turn in recordings and I have them turn on their microphones and play a little bit, I try and give them as much feedback as I can, but they kind of are in a big capacity. They're just kind of left to themselves to hear what they're doing and find those areas that they need to work on.
Exactly. Guys, let's talk a little bit about what a all-weather surface would mean to a group like marching band, having that reliable surface that you can be on all the time.
Oh, I think that would be so incredible for our marching band kids. We've got stories of kids that, especially like doing backwards marching on the field, and a kid will hit one of those sprinkler heads just wrong. One of our drum majors from last year, when he was younger, broke his arm through marching band. We had a displaced hip one time. Basically, mud. Yes.
Lots of ankle injuries.
Mud on the field, usually by the end of football season. Because we do California shows, they go a couple weeks into November. Usually we're totally done with football, but we get to deal with all the rain and mud that's out there on the field and try and keep those practices going. And there have been a lot of times where we've been out there and just said, we can't continue right now. It's too dangerous.
Marching band truly is a contact sport, it sounds like.
Oh, it sure can be.
I think one other thing we've talked about over the years, Mike, is the opportunity to potentially even host a marching band competition if we had that kind of facility. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, and that's something that Scott and Kim with Color Guard, we've talked about that a lot, and with our boosters. It's something that we would love to be able to do, especially if we were to do like a marching competition hosting smaller schools like us.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times in the marching competitions, all of the big schools, the 5A and 6A marching bands, come home with all the trophies. And a lot of times the smaller schools are kind of like, yeah, that was fun. We feel really good about what we did, but it'd be kind of nice to win an award too.
Yeah.
And so, something like that I think would be great here. The field would be really helpful with that. But we are still kind of dealing with how do we host all these other bands, because usually it's multiple buses, it's trailers like our band trailer,
sure,
and all of the boosters from all those other schools, fixing meals for the kids. It does take up a ton of space.
It does. So that's something that hopefully we can work on down the road. So,
yeah.
So again, Mike, Scott, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we're back. PT Rising Field Turf-a-thon. Dave Earhart, Neil Carvalho here with you live from the Phoenix High School weight room. See money.
Dave,
4th hour, yeah.
You're looking pretty sharp.
Feeling sharp. You too, my friend.
Yeah.
This is okay.
This feels kind of good. This is kind of like, the top off for our whole time here. And, some of you may go, hey, these guys look familiar. Yes, we were on the Carhartt Report. Still can find that on YouTube. We're bringing that back, Dave.
This is an extended version of it tonight. So we'll have to see what the viewing audience says about that.
Yeah, that was a great interview, by the way, with Mike and Scott.
Yeah, it really was. We just, again, the perspective of marching band use and the chance to get those kids on the field on a more regular basis without having to battle mud and all those different things. Another group that's truly going to benefit is our unified sports.
Now, I've heard you say that. Mm-hmm. I know what it is. Maybe some people don't.
Sure.
So what is unified sports?
So unified sports is just been a phenomenal addition for us. We're going to be, we would have been this year in our 4th year of it. Things got slowed down a little bit. We're not sure if we'll be able to have unified sports or any sports this year, but we hope to. But again, unified sports combines our special education department along with our general ed kids. So it gets those kids on the court who might not have a chance to be out there. Then our general ed kids work to be mentors on the court. So Alexis Garcia, who's one of our camera guys here tonight, he's been part of that, helping our special ed kids and just having a great time. We've got unified cheerleading. We've got unified basketball, unified soccer. We'd love to do unified track and field. And again, the all-weather surface is going to give a student athlete in a wheelchair that opportunity to be out on the field, and just so many great opportunities. So the next person we're going to hear from is Tiffany Lambert. And Tiffany is one of our assistant superintendents, Phoenix Town Schools. She's in charge of special programs and technology, and just does an amazing job. So we've got a great perspective from Tiffany when we spoke to her a couple days ago. All right, we're here with Tiffany Lambert. Tiffany Lambert is one of our assistant superintendents in the Phoenix Town School District. Tiffany, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it very much. And it's super to have you. You know, the district's gone through a lot. COVID, the fires, the recovery from that, and you've been very involved in helping with the recovery. Can you just talk about the last few months a little bit?
Well, the last few months have been a whirlwind, and I think we knew that schools were the hub of our community before the pandemic and before the Alameda fire, but it really put a focus on that. I will go back to the days immediately following the fire, and I was out with colleagues at the evacuation sites, out at the expo, and in some of our outlying communities. And many of us, we wore our school shirts just so we were identifiable. And people would come up to us, and the first question people asked was, is the new high school standing? I mean, even before they asked if we knew a certain mobile home park or a certain apartment complex or a certain street had been impacted, it was very apparent that the school buildings were an integral part of the community. You know, of course, parents who had kids in schools, but also grandparents and of kids in schools, but just even the neighbors. And I heard so many stories about what the school means about hearing the cannon, the pirate cannon on Friday Night Lights time, and just it was really important for them. So, you know, before the pandemic, before the fire, the community came together to pass that bond, and it was really a symbol of hope, of community, of just who we are, that the building was saved, and people were really proud of that. So just that being the number one concern really showed me what an important part schools really play, not just in the lives of our students, but in the community as a whole. Really is part of the focal point, isn't it? And just how far has the district come? Do you think the community has come in the last couple of months as the recovery has started? Well, yeah, I mean, we've done a lot. As you know, Dave, we've all taken on different roles with relief efforts. And now we're in that rebuilding process, and this process takes years. And we know that we've kind of had that resolve, but some of the bright spots are that our school buildings are still standing. You know, we do have a new high school to look forward to. It's the gem of the school district and the community, and that's just a sign to everybody that we can do that. We can get through these next few years, but it's not going to be easy. Exactly. And it's going to be a long road, but we have just really great students and staff and family members that, you know, we're all in this together. You're a sports parent. How important is it to get kids back on the playing fields, on the courts, all those different things? Oh my goodness. Dave, you know this. I've got a young athlete who is itching to get out and get on that basketball court. For mental health, for physical health, even that social aspect of being part of a team. And it's been hard during the pandemic. I've noticed, you know, with all this, even getting outside seems to be really difficult. Our students, you know, my own child included, are spending a lot of time on screens for classes. And then, you know, then we had smoke, and then, you know, just students cooped up. We have students that are staying in hotels and motels and cars and RVs. Getting that exercise, getting out there is so critical. I'd like to be there cheering on too, so I'm itching for that as well. But it is amazing. It's more than just sports. It's that physical, mental health all wrapped up in it. It is critical in the development of our young athletes.
It really is. Now, in your work as assistant superintendent, working with special education programs, you're familiar with unified sports, have been involved in that. What would an all-weather playing surface mean to those programs, Tiffany?
It would just provide access to every athlete. An all-weather surface, you know, if it's raining, if it's muddy, and we have an athlete that requires the use of a wheelchair or crutches or any mitigating physical factors, that just doesn't matter. It just is, they get to participate, get out there. I love our unified sports programs for both our unified athletes and our pirate teams. It is such an amazing activity, so important in the lives of our students and their families. So being out there would be just great. And not just for our athletes too, but when we're looking at our marching band, for our students, our young musicians that might have physical disabilities, it's critical to have that all-weather surface. I'm super also excited to perhaps have a graduation ceremony on that field. And so to have that all-weather surface, we wouldn't, as you know, it's rained many times on graduation days. And so if you are a person in a wheelchair or with other physical disabilities, you know that can be an impediment, and we just wouldn't worry about that. It would be access for everybody. Super critical.
So many positives about this. Well, Tiffany, thanks for sharing some time with us. We appreciate it, and look forward to this turf project continuing to evolve. Thank you.
Yeah, Dave, if I can say one more thing,
sure,
too, because I was thinking about this as I was driving into work. You know, our students, as we're going into hybrid and limited in person and just driving through the community, the landscape is gray and black of destruction and despair and the memories with that. And as I think more about this field, I'm like, it's so excited that we could have this colorful, amazing symbol to look forward to. I think I look at those drone images and it's really depressing. So I imagine it with the new Phoenix Rising field, and just gonna dream about the change it's going to make on our community as a whole, and just getting through these next couple years of rebuilding. It would be really nice. I think our students deserve it, and our families deserve it, and the cities of Phoenix and Talent deserve it as well.
Perfect. Folks, if you're listening right now, it's a perfect time to connect with us, make that donation to PT Rising Field. Once again, it's Tiffany Lambert, Assistant Superintendent, Phoenix Talent Schools. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thanks, Dave.
And we're back.
Wow,
Phoenix Talent Rising Field.
That was a cool interview.
It was. It was a really nice job by Tiffany there. Once again, thank you to everybody who either came in tonight or earlier in the week did interviews with us. We really appreciate it. It was great to have some of our teams in, the kids out on the field.
Yeah, things like that. I think they were a little cold, but
yeah.
Man, I'm looking out there. It's still little falling flakes. I mean, you know, Dave, in Hawaii, we don't really have this. So this is, to me, it's kind of cool. You know, not to be so cold, but it's kind of cool to have some snow. It kind of adds some beauty. It's kind of beginning to feel like, you know, the winter Christmas season.
It
and
is definitely feeling like
gosh, you know what's going to be awesome, Dave, because I've seen this. When we have that turf, that field's just going to be white with snow, and it'll be nice and not muddy.
Go out there and play on it. Don't have to worry about ripping it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a great
it's going to
time.
be awesome.
It's going to be so cool. So, again, we just want to thank so many people who've reached out. I want to thank one of our social media helpers tonight is Anna Redding.
Oh, my God.
Just
she
amazing.
Does a great job.
She's been posting stuff for 2 weeks for us to all these Facebook pages and things like that. And then Jim and Anna Redding donated very generously tonight, so we really appreciate that.
That is awesome. Great family.
So many people. We're up over 50 bricks that have been sold, or nameplates that are going to be on one of our brick walls. We're still getting near $50,000. Need some help to get over that, folks. So if you can do that, we'd really appreciate it. And again, those phone lines are open. We've got both Dawn and Sarah here taking calls right now. So if you're willing to make a pledge, that's great. We can connect you with a credit card.
Yeah, let's get that. We're only $300 away. Remember, nothing's too small and nothing's too big. Those numbers again: 541-973-1521. 541-531-6822. Can make the pledge, pay with a credit card, donate electronically to getmeregistered.com/PT Rising Field. Also, you can mail it, PT Rising Field, P.O. Box 697, Phoenix, Oregon 97535. Dave and I challenge anybody we know who's watching out there who has not donated. Hey, Hawaiian style, please kokua. Let's get at least that $300. Anybody who ever played for me or had me in class, I really challenge you, 10, 20, $100. Let's get that going. It would be awesome. Remember, kind of like we know you have that pride, and if you can do it, it would be awesome.
Pirate Pride. I'd like a couple shout outs here. We've got some family involved in this tonight. Just outstanding. My wife Heidi's at home, made a great donation. My niece Paula Reichel back in Wisconsin. We sent out some texts today letting folks know they could watch Uncle Dave on TV tonight.
All right.
And some folks reaching out, so we really appreciate
I got one.
that.
My stepmom and my dad called in a while ago and forgot to tell that they donated something. So,
Wonderful.
like I said, my dad wants to run that cannon at least one time, Dave.
He can come in. He could even light that fuse next Friday morning for us when we open the new school. But again, so many people generously donated. Alumni, we've had incredible donations tonight. We've had our staff step up at Phoenix Town Schools. We've had businesses. We've had vendors, all sorts of things like that. And there's a lot of folks we're going to hear from yet in the coming weeks. We know these phone lines are going to stay open. A lot of foundations have expressed interest in our cause. We know we're going to hear from them. Lots of folks who are vendors who help build the new school. We're going to be hearing from those folks as they get things squared away. We've got other people out there connecting people they know, who know people and things like that. So
it's like a big spider web.
It really is. It really is. And that's what it takes for this. And that's what we want to do. That's what a community effort's all about. That's what it takes. That's what it took to pass the school bond. And that's what it's going to take to get this field built. So there's so many good things happening. We've got a couple more features tonight. Right now we want to go to a couple. And our two administrators at Talent Middle School came over the other day for some interviews.
Right. So let's talk about these two guys.
Two guys, good guys. Aaron Sante's been the principal over there for several years.
God, he looks like a guy I see on TV every Sunday.
Have you seen him on TV? What have you seen him doing on TV?
Well, kind of typical. Usually making a bad... No. Aaron Sante is an NFL referee.
He is. He's a back judge.
He is a back judge. Yeah, it's awesome.
Did the Rams game last night? He was pulling for your boys.
Yes, he did. I was hoping he would make some good calls. And you know what's the best part? I didn't notice him all game.
He didn't have to.
That's when things are. And Aaron's a great guy. I saw that he was doing the Chargers game a couple weeks ago, and I sent him an email thinking, he's a busy guy, and I said, man, you're going to go to the new Rams stadium. Tell me how it is. And he emailed back. He goes, yeah, no problem. And then he sent me an email from the stadium like, hey, it's amazing. And he even sent me some pictures. I was like, wow, that's so cool. And
there you go.
Great guy. Aaron and Kent
Valier was our assistant principal here for 2 years. And then when there was some shifting around in the district, he took the opportunity, the assignment, the challenge to go to the middle school.
Yeah,
and he's doing a great job there.
I miss that guy.
We miss him a lot. A lot of fun. He's a Klamath Union guy.
Except for that part.
Yeah, he's a Pell, but he was a great addition here. But again, we talked about Randy before. Randy Waite has done a really nice job of as our new assistant principal and does a super job, and he's great to work with. So we're going to roll those couple videos back to back, both Aaron Sante and Kent Valier. All right, we're here with Aaron Sante, who is the principal at Talent Middle School. Aaron's been in the district for several years. And Aaron, tell us about the importance of sports at the middle school level to get kids involved.
Well, we know that through research, as well as just kind of our own anecdotal data, that when students are connected to extracurricular activities, whether it's sports or band or theater or whatever, kids have a higher engagement level in school. I've seen many cases where students would have dropped out of high school if it weren't for the extracurricular activities that kept them going. Along with many of my friends, as I was going through school, I saw several students, friends of mine, who would not have finished high school if it weren't for sports and keeping them involved in the school community.
How about the revival of the district in the wake of the fires, Aaron? You've seen that firsthand, and how's that going so far?
I think it's actually going as well as could be expected. We have a lot of families who are moving on, moving forward. They're finding their way to new housing. As you know, we've lost a lot of our families' homes through the fire, but many of them are moving forward. They've found housing, or they're in the process of doing so. They're continuing to work. So our community is very resilient. I have full confidence that everybody's going to be able to move forward in a positive way, given some time.
Now, in addition to being principal at the middle school, you spend some time working as an NFL official, as a full-time NFL official. What does that look like this year as a COVID year, Aaron? How has that changed things?
Well, it's changed a lot about the way we do business. It's become a very lonely job, actually. Typically we spend a lot of time together as a officiating crew on the weekend. It's kind of our weekend family, really. But that's changed a lot this year. We're forced to kind of isolate in our hotel rooms. We don't get to hang out together. We really only see each other in the stadium at the game, and then we leave again. Obviously, it's been impacted in terms of the fans. Most of the stadiums don't have fans, and the ones that do only have a few fans. So it's really changed the atmosphere for the live event. But I'm very thankful for the fact that we were able to still even put on a NFL season. And so I think that that's been good for the community, for the country, just to have that kind of stability of what people expect in their lives on a Sunday afternoon in the fall.
What's it like not having the fans there? That's got to be different. How does that change what you're doing?
Well, it doesn't change a lot during the play, of course. During the play, the players, the coaches, and the officials are all completely focused on what we do at any time, whether it's practice, scrimmages, games, whatever. But outside of that, the general atmosphere is much more subdued. It's very quiet. They are piping in crowd noise, which is kind of interesting. It keeps kind of a nice white noise background during the game, but when we go to TV timeouts, they turn that off, and it becomes very quiet in there. You can hear the coaches and players on the other sideline, so it's kind of interesting.
You talk about fans and just the chance with our new stadium. We're excited about that. And every year we try to place a middle school game, at least one middle school game, the final game, for the 8th graders over here. So what do you think about, the fact of an all-weather playing surface? How could that enhance that opportunity?
Well, an all-weather playing surface is going to be huge for the high school in particular, but even for our 8th graders, we play, as you mentioned, one game a year over here, generally against Ashland, usually at night, and it's usually at the end of the season. And so typically we have weather that potentially is an issue. So when it's been raining for 3 or 4 days and we put our 8th graders out there on the field on Wednesday night against Ashland, it's not always putting our best foot forward because the field is not always in pristine condition. So having an all-weather field will be a big deal for our kids. They look forward to that every year. Our 8th graders look forward to playing on the big high school field, playing under the lights. It's something that we don't have the opportunity to do at the middle school, and so that's a great opportunity for our kids, and having an all-weather field will make it even better.
Well, great. Aaron, thanks for being part of our Turfathon. We appreciate it. All right, we're here with Kent Valier, assistant principal at Talent Middle School. Kent's in his 3rd year with the district, and has seen the district start to recover in the wake of the fires. What are you thinking so far, Kent, in terms of how that's gone?
I think it's going pretty well so far. We're eager to get back to our hybrid in-person learning model. About a third of our students unfortunately lost their homes in the devastating fires, and we're doing our best, and our staff's working hard to connect with all of our kids.
Excellent. How about just the opportunity to play sports? You grew up in Klamath Falls, multi-sport athlete over there, and still follow a lot of sports, and you're the middle school athletic director. Just getting kids back out on the field and playing, what do you think of that?
I think what our kids need right now is the connection with their teachers, their coaches, and each other, and that social piece and what kids learn from competition is a great asset, and they need a lot of that right now.
I know over at Klamath Union, your alma mater, they've got a nice all-weather playing surface, and you've been over there to see that, and late season games, what do you think of that, having that, if we could have that here at Phoenix?
It's a great source of pride in the community, and I think here in Phoenix, our community deserves that as well. Back in my day, it was a grass field, and late in the fall and early winter, it was pretty messy and pretty muddy.
All right, well, we'll look forward to this progression in terms of our effort. Kent, thanks for being part of our Turfathon.
Of course.
And we're back in the home stretch, PT Rising Field Turfathon, right here live from Phoenix High School and Table Rock Sports. Once again, big shout out to all the folks making this happen. Chris Janish, appreciate you very much from Table Rock Sports. Thank you. Just
what a trooper.
Amazing effort. And Chris he went through Phoenix schools, Phoenix Talent Schools, so he's a graduate. Well, he graduated from our charter school, ATI, Armadillo Tech.
Nice.
So he's been just incredible to produce this. Joe Brett, Table Rock Sports.
Big Joe.
Really appreciate it.
You know, I
very
did a
much.
job shadow with Joe when I was in college. A job yeah.
And how'd that turn out, Neil?
Well, I'm a teacher now, but no. No, Joe was a great guy. You know, it was like in 1985. I was in a communications class and thought, wow, sports reporter would be pretty cool. Did a thing with Joe and just kind of, you know, I don't know if I was good enough writing-wise and stuff, and I just kind of drifted into business and
it's worked out pretty well.
So I think I had a good deal, though.
No, but just so many people have helped us out with this. And again, all the donators tonight, people who've been donating since this cause started several weeks ago. And it's going to continue. We've got a ways to go yet, folks, but we know we're going to get this done. We've connected with Fieldturf. That's our the company that we are signing a contract with, and they're going to start on this field as soon as they possibly can, knowing that we're going to get enough money to finish it.
Yeah, and Fieldturf is kind of like a known brand. Like, it's not, you know, some company that just went, hey, we can give you a great deal.
Yep.
They're tried, they're true. I mean, Autzen Stadium, I believe Reeser Stadium, Spiegelberg Stadium in Medford, you know, all Fieldturf. And, you know, you and I have talked before, like, about the pride of, like, hey, we're going to do something, but we're going to do it good. We're not going to go, well, hey, we'll just get some type of stuff. No, we're going to get the best we can, and, you know, our community in town and school and everybody deserves that, just like with that school.
Exactly, and that's where it's going. So we want to show you what this field looks like right now one more time. The stadium is amazing. We rebuilt that. We're going to have graduation back here, brand new track, extended seating, all those things, and just how great it's going to look once we get that field.
And you know what? So, you know, I've been here a long time. This is year 23. When I got here, our track looked terrible, and it hasn't been changed since. When I got here, that stadium was condemned. We couldn't go up into the coach's box. That got fixed. The stadium was old. You know, there's some legends about the field that, you know, when they dig it up, supposedly somebody's buried.
What you're going to find in there, huh?
Yeah, supposedly, you know, they said that supposedly Jack Woodward's ashes are under one of those goalposts, but you know, that's just one of those rumors. But
well, speaking of goalposts, we're going to get new goalposts with the Fieldturf, so that's pretty cool.
Hey, you know, I run the kickers.
Yeah, you do.
What's the chances of keeping one of those goalposts to, like, where we get a practice field?
Potentially. We're going to see. It's going to be pretty cool when we get our practice fields back, because where the school's going to get torn down, that's where practice fields are going to go. So we're excited.
So I'd like to have a goalpost that, you know, with my kickers. All
we'll
right.
work on that, Coach. So let's go to that field feature right now. Chris, cue it up. Excited about our field project. Just super, really looking forward to what it's going to look like. It looks great out here right now when you look at our track and our beautiful stadium. We've got brand new lights. I'm just really pleased with the way it's turned out, and the piece to finish it is really going to be this synthetic all-weather surface. Right now, we can use the surface for about 20 hours a week throughout the fall season, just because grass gets torn up. And when we put in the synthetic turf, we're going to be able to use it 24/7, 365, marching band, soccer playoff games, soccer regular season games, full football program, youth sports, community sports, unified sports. All those things are going to benefit from having this kind of surface. Anybody giving $100 or more, we're going to recognize you on the donor wall over here on the weight room. Anybody $1,000 or more, we're going to have a monument at the entrance to PT Rising Field. We're going to recognize those folks. So again, people, there's no donation too small at all. And again, lots of ways to give. You can do that electronically right now. Go to getmeregistered.com and just search out Phoenix Talent. It's on there, a great secure registration site. You can send a check to PT Rising Field, P.O. Box 697 in Phoenix, 97535. I'm glad to help you out there too as well. So whatever you can do. We've got those phone numbers tonight that we're sharing throughout the Turfathon. Those are going to be active for a couple months. Call us anytime and we'll help you get your donation all set. There's no donation too small for this. If you've got $5,000 or want to give us $50,000, whatever works for you. We've talked to so many groups throughout the valley already. We've talked to foundations. Our school district, of course, is supporting it. Vendors who built that beautiful new high school. People we do business with. Our district staff. So many people getting involved. So again, no donation too small, and again, no donation too large. We'll help you out to help us finish Phoenix Talent Rising Field.
So that was great. We're back here. Great video about the field, how everything's looking, and gosh, it's you know, I'm excited, but I just can't imagine what it's going to look like. And I know you'll probably, by the way, if you don't know, Dave runs our Twitter for the school athletic department.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure you're going to be out here taking pictures.
Oh, yes.
And giving updates of how,
It is.
phase 1, phase 2 stuff. And I don't know, Dave, if there's a chance, I'd like to be with that golden shovel.
You're going to dig that first dig?
Dig
All
that
right,
first
we'll
dig.
work on that, Coach. We'll
Okay.
definitely work on that. Well, we've got a lot of things again, and so many people to thank, and just all the folks have donated. I want to tell one quick story here. About a week and a half ago, I got an email from South Medford High School from a teacher over there who says, hey, I'm a club leader over here. We heard about your situation, and we want to do a can and bottle drive for you.
Wow.
So we got groups like that. We've got so many different people helping in so many different ways. The different businesses that reached out and are helping us out with, you look at our supporters in terms of, again, Siskiyou Cellular provided all the commercial time for us. Our friends at Garrison's got a chance. Anybody who donates $100 or more has a chance to win a $1,000 shopping spree from Garrison's Home.
That'd be cool.
So really, really cool stuff. So lots of folks, again, contributing to this effort. So we're going to finish up with one last video here, again, to remind you the reason that we're here to give this community a new field. We are back one last time to, again, thank you so much. Donated to PT Rising Field tonight. We didn't quite get to that $50,000 mark, but we know over the weekend we will. We'll
for
keep
sure.
you updated
Yeah.
on all of our social media sites. We're all over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, just different websites and things like that. So we'll keep spreading the word.
And I think let's go over the clubs, the levels again.
Certainly, one more time. So when you donate $100 or more, you can get a brick and a plate on a brick. So we've got that opportunity. Over $1,000, we're going to call that, instead of the Red and Navy Club, that's the Phoenix Club. So anybody $1,000 or more. $10,000 mark, that gets you in the Pirate Club. Up over $25,000.
And that's on the monument, correct?
That's on the monument. Anything 1,000 or more is on the monument. Legends Club is $25,000 and more. Champions Club, $50,000 and more. So we're expecting some of those great big donations here in the next few weeks as we finish this project. But again, we just want to thank you so much. Remember, those phone lines are open. You can call if you're watching this on demand. On Table Rock Sports or on YouTube, you can always call us. Those phones are going to be live. Neil, share those numbers one more time.
Yeah, and before I do that, I'll say one thing about those donations. If you're watching and you go, hey, maybe my work might be interested, or you know people at certain places, please reach out to them and, get some contacts. And if you're not comfortable contacting them, please contact Mr. Earhart at the high school, and you can call and leave a message for him. And that high school number is 535-1526. And as for Dave Earhart, you can get some information to him there. Again, to donate here today and in the future, 541-973-1521 or 541-531-6822. that's for credit cards. You can also call the high school for a credit card to do that there.
Yep.
You can donate electronically at getmeregistered.com/PT Rising Field, or send a check to PT Rising Field, make it out to them. Also address it there, P.O. Box 697, Phoenix, Oregon 97535. Remember, it's super easy. All this information has been scrolling throughout the night on there. And, you know, we talk about community here. And, you know, people always, you hear this a lot of different places, but it is true here with our school, our administration, the community. Everybody bonds together. It's been awesome to see. And this is going to be the final piece of this phase of community building with the high school, the track, the stadium, the field. This is going to be that shining light as this Phoenix rises up from the ashes again, and we rebuild after the devastating fires and come out stronger than what we went into it.
Exactly it. Well said, Neil. It's tough to beat that one. So on that note, we're going to sign off once again. Dave Earhart for Neil Carvalho. Thank you very much. This has been Table Rock Sports Production. Good night from PT Rising Field.
Aloha, everybody.